Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV Podcast 574. Tim Miller, not quite alongside Johnny V. You're nowhere to be found here. I'm in the Bend studio for the Disc Golf Network. Johnny V, back in Milwaukee, and we're going back a couple years for tonight's celebration and our guest.
I don't know. It seems like such a shtick, and she's in our green room right now, but it seems like such a shtick, like everybody's saying, what year is it? Like, what? It's not like these players have been off the scene or haven't won in 5 years. I mean, and it's not like they haven't been near the top of the game. So I don't feel that is an appropriate or an accurate representation of what it is. But I can understand having them
we
both
all
win.
know. Yeah, but we all know with sports and sports heroes and champions, it's always, what have you done for me lately?
That's true.
Right? Like that's
I ask
all
you that all the time.
That's all that seems to matter. I know, and somehow I keep disappointing you. Well, someone who didn't disappoint the Paige Pierce fans from around the world was none other than our Green Mountain champion from this weekend, Paige Pierce.
Hi, Paige.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Enough? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I know I'm always red, but we could use a little more light in your face if you got any. I know you know.
It's late there
about that lighting and stuff.
Oh, beautiful.
There you go.
Nice. Okay.
Perfect. Welcome. Let's start with first of all, congratulations, of course.
Thank you.
It's been a couple days. Is there any way you can weed through the tens of thousands of messages on all the different platforms?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, but it's a beautiful, predicament I find myself in. Just wanting to make sure that I take the time to say thank you back and just express my gratitude to all the people that are reaching out for sure. It's and not just like a quick thank you, it's like these people mean a lot to me. And it also trying to practice for Maple Hill. I had skins today. I had a pro-am. So it's when you win, it gets pretty hectic for sure.
All probably good problems to have, and I'm sure you're okay with being bogged down a little bit, if that's what it means.
Definitely. I'm gonna miss it when the off season comes. So just trying to soak it in for sure.
Let's go right there in terms of off season as we're nearing the end of the season and thinking about what's to come. Is there anything on your radar that is unexpected? Because we have so many different tours and people doing fun, crazy, out of the ordinary things these days. Is there anything for you that once the last putt drops at the Tour Championship or maybe even the Match Play Championship, do you have anything scheduled after that?
Not scheduled yet. I'm in talks with the New Zealand people. I'm also in talks with GoThrow about doing the Puerto Rico one. And then all of my homies in Pensacola tell me I have to go play the what's it called? The Rip. Now I can't remember.
Big Rip.
Big Rip. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that's awesome, and it's only 2 hours from my house. So yeah, there's definitely thoughts planted, but no set plans yet. It's so crazy. Just what do I have tomorrow? Okay, Wednesday. Okay, what do I have? So it's it's hard to get that far ahead. Obviously, those are things you got to plan for, but also I know my wife's not watching this, so it's okay. But I'm gonna maybe surprise her and not tell her we're going to New Zealand and just go. But I don't think I'll do the whole tour. Just maybe 2 of them.
Sure. I'm going to spoil it for a moment. I just had a 10 or 12 minute podcast appearance with Little Miss Frisbees from New Zealand,
okay.
Sarah Wadsworth, the 10-year-old. First of all, she's going to put all of us out of a job because when she's done winning tournaments, she's going to then take over media. She is so incredible. And that was something I was asked about, is being in New Zealand. And so my question to you is, what has been your experience with being in New Zealand? Have you ever been? Where does that rank for you?
No, I've never been. Always wanted to go. It's like a bucket list place for me. So, a lot of times it's like, oh, okay, well, if I play a tournament there, I can work and play, but it's kind of hard to do both. Yeah, so I think that's where kind of I lean towards the like, okay, I'll maybe play two of them and take a week and just like vacation the next week. Also with two dogs, it's kind of hard to like at least even like I don't need to make money going there, but like breaking even would be nice. Losing money every time is pretty tough that you go out of the country. So, um, yeah, just figuring out a way to like break even, still experience things and see the country, but also like see the courses and get to know the disc golf community there. And I'm excited to see like the terrain and stuff. But no, never been. I would love to go. Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah, and we are so blessed, especially with the position that you're in, that you have these conversations with good homies over at Go Throw that are doing stuff not just in New Zealand but all over the U.S. But then also dipping down into Latin America and South America and all those other places that are to be explored yet, and then the option to have like something going on in New Zealand and then Southeast Asia, which you've already been to, and you've been part of Thailand and some of the golf there. Like, uh, would you have ever guessed? I know you've been around a long time, but would you have ever guessed 20 years ago that disc golf would be taking you all these wild and exotic countries and places?
So, funny enough, like first year on tour is 20, and then I think it was 2011 Memorial. I won the event, and UC came up to me and was like, "Hey, I want you to come to the European Open. It's very nice. It's blah blah blah." Talking it up, and I got like invited because you had to get the invite, and I remember going. And so I didn't even think back then, like, "Whoa, Europe!" Like, whoa. And then that was like when Prodigy, it was still underground, but we had all like signed like whatever it's called, like that intent to sign with
Letter
Prodigy.
of intent or something?
So
Yeah.
yeah, whatever it is. And so like we all traveled together, and we're trying to like bond as a future team, and we got to see a lot of different countries in Europe. So even back then, like, no, I couldn't believe it and still can. I'm still seeing new places all these years later. And like you said, Thailand, like one of my favorite places that I've been, and it's been so long since I've been there. So it's like a mixture of like wanting to see new places, but also like revisiting those places and those people in those places that you grew so fond of.
Yeah, we've all been so blessed with those opportunities and the things that have come with it. Let's get into this weekend. I think one of the first questions that's out there, well, for me at least, is knowing your legacy, knowing what you've thought about and what you've accomplished. Have you ever thought about the streak that was very much talked about this weekend? All these years on tour of always winning an Elite Series or Major. Has that Did that thought ever cross your mind? Were you aware of it? And should we have been making a big deal of it?
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it in this specific event. I know that I've won at least one every year. I know that. But I wasn't thinking about it going into Green Mountain Championship specifically. I was just thinking, okay, I have a few more events that I could just come with a big win. It wasn't like in with the thought of like that streak, more just like I need a big win this year. My contract's up. I want to have my um you know speaking power or whatever it is, and like also I just like need it for my mental well-being. And it's tough when you don't have a win, and you're so far spaced out, and you question things. And yeah, so I wasn't thinking about it in that event, to be honest with you, 100%. My goal for this weekend was, I knew that Hayden Spurge, Val Monduhano, and Cap Mertz were all within striking distance as far as the tour points. And so I was thinking I want to, kind of play match play with them. I want to try to get more points and jump up in the standings. I knew a win would do that, obviously. But yeah, I was just trying to jump up in the standings, get as many birdies as possible, and see where that put me. And yeah, I did. Ended up jumping all 3 of them with that win. So yeah, it was really cool to get both wishes in 1 week.
Going into the 4th round with the lead that Missy had. I mean, you've been in that position years and years and years. You've been in that position with people looking up at you. Did you think you had a chance to catch her? Honestly, going into that 4th round, I mean that's Fox Run isn't known for huge number swings like Brewster would be.
I actually disagree. I think there's bigger scoring separation on Fox just because of Obi. Yeah, like Brewster, sure, I can hit first available and then hit 7th available and whatever, but I'm not really going to take triple bogeys out there in theory. But Fox Run, I mean, I could see triple, I mean, hole 7,
Yeah.
like I took 2 doubles back to back. And did I think I could catch her? Yes, I did. Did I think it was going to be easy? No, and it wasn't. But also I didn't expect, I mean, I actually watched it back. So that was crazy. I saw her roll, Missy. I saw her roll away on 2. And then, yeah, she just had like a couple weird breaks that aren't very typical of Missy. I think, I don't know if she looked at scores. We hadn't talked about that yet. But, if she got nervous, she felt us coming. I know that I was pushing pretty hard at the beginning, and then Owen was pushing pretty hard in the middle. So, especially when you have a big lead like that, that's almost harder than having a 1-stroke lead. When you have the big stroke lead, like, okay, it's mine to close out, and that can be a really hard situation to be in. So yeah, I mean, with the birdie on 2, birdie on 5 and 6, I felt like, and 2 huge putts on those few holes, I felt like, okay, I have momentum. I think I cut the lead down to 3 going into hole 7. So I knew that, wow, we're only on hole 7's tee, and I've cut it in half. So I felt, and I was just like amped up from those big putts. So I knew it was possible, and I felt confident. But I knew I still had a lot of work left. Yeah, and a lot of risky shots to throw.
When was there anything different this weekend that those long putts were falling? I mean, when I think back to yesteryear and so many of your successes, like you making those, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I'd barely even like raise my voice over them because I kind of grew accustomed to seeing stuff like that from you. Was there anything that was special or different this weekend where you feel like long range just feels extra good and they were dropping?
Yeah, my timing feels really good on my C2 putts right now. Yeah, and just like I'm honestly just trusting myself more. Sometimes when I'm a little bit iffy, should I run this? Oh, is it scary? Death putt, blah blah blah. Those thoughts go in my head. I kind of run the putt differently. You'll kind of notice like a little bit more air, and like it's a floatier look. And I was just jabbing them at the chains, like into the heart, and not thinking about any repercussions. Just like, if you're gonna run it. Don't do that halfway bid. Sure, on some occasions,
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of want that floaty bid, but if you're actually feeling like you're gonna make it, just jab it at the chains and make it fly like a spin putt should. But yeah, I've been going to putting league every Wednesday when I'm home, and we have such good putters in Pensacola, and the stations are different every week, and they're uphill and they're downhill. We put inside a skating rink, like a skate park, indoor skate park, and it's up and 2 stories. So we have lots of downhill putts and lots of uphill putts, and they make them up to like 70 feet. Um, and so, like, yeah, I've just been getting a lot of reps in with that kinda, and, like, you kinda have this target on your back, like, "Oh, the local pro's home, gotta beat her," and, like, I have that, like, wanting to, like, you know, wanting to win, just, like, that competitive side. So, it's good, like, practice, pressure practice, but it's also, like,
Mm-hmm.
people are drinking beers, people are rowdy, and it's also really good like distraction practice. Where everyone's like either no one's like, boo, you suck, but like, just like trying to razz you. And so it's really good practice for me. And yeah, I've just been playing really well at putting league. And to be honest too, like I've just been trusting my ankle more. I think that that's been my biggest my longest hurt is the jump putt, because like I'm just scared to land on it, even though nothing's hurting. I know in theory that my ankle is stronger than it ever was. Um, but it feels different. Like when I walk over to turn that light on, I can feel different in my ankle. So it's just like this inherent like fear or like this distrust um
Yeah.
that like makes me fearful to like jump full force and land on it. In the throwing motion you're not jumping. So it's been scary, but doing it more and more and realizing, oh, I'm okay. Like it just makes me more and more comfortable doing it.
Well, do you think this weekend you and the Bridges are even? They got you once, you've got them once. Like the whole 18 skipping off that bridge, phenomenal. Like just what a stroke of luck.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that until maybe like an hour or two after I won. Nobody told me that until like after.
Oh.
And then I was like, wow, that was one of the reasons I also wanted to watch the coverage back, and totally just skipped right off there. I did see from the tee pad, I was like, wow, that was a bigger skip than I would have anticipated. Like, but I was just like, cool, it skipped way left. Like now, well, that tree won't even be in my thing. But I didn't think that it skipped off the bridge. Um, but yeah, I was like, wow, crazy skip. Okay, cool. But I did think then in the playoff, I was like, okay, that was a little closer than I wanted it to be. Let's put a little more hyzer on it and like get it a little more left. So, I don't know what that would have changed if I did know that going into the playoff hole, but either way, I kind of just knew like, okay, that was a little too close for comfort. Let's get it a little farther left.
Well, certainly you had all the momentum, and he even talked about. We talked on air about how you were electing to essentially run up the hill. We saw Owen initially in the golf cart, and then Missy and Tom were walking up the hill. But what are some of those things that I can imagine, but I want to hear from you. What are some of those things as you're either walking up the hill or you get to the hill,
or running
to the
up
top
the hill
to
as you
catch
were
your
doing.
breath, or running? Yeah, running. But what are some of those things that are going through your head as you guys are about to draw numbers, and did you care about the order? Like, just kind of break down mentally what some of those things were that were running around in your head.
Yeah, I didn't know for starters with the order. I didn't know how that was gonna work, if it was like gonna be my turn because I birdied, or how that was
Mm-hmm.
gonna work. So actually on my way up the hill, I just told myself, let's make a decision now and just not worry about what the order is. But also it was like 5 minutes prior. So I had just seen what I needed to do. I just felt it. I just saw it. I knew that they were going to play for par. Well, ish. They were still hoping to get the birdie for sure, but how far back they were landing, that's just such a hard shot, especially, I mean, for me, for sure. Um, but yeah, I didn't want to have to throw anything faster than a putter into the green. So as far as like running up the hill, I mean, two main reasons. One, my heart rate was just like through the roof. I was like, literally, I thought I was gonna puke, and it was the craziest thing. Like because you get nervous and you feel like heartbeat and you feel like sweaty palms, but like I even had like weak stomach. My legs felt like am I gonna faint? Like what's happening? It was the craziest thing. And yeah, I just needed to calm myself down. And I was like, okay, I'm going to run up that hill, get to the top first. And like getting my heart rate that elevated, it'll make me have to take these deep breaths and like have to calm down. But also just like wanting to not have the camera right in my face for at least 30 seconds was a big thought. Like, take, a minute or two of alone time seems nice right now. Just want to like not be observed and just, collect my emotions and thoughts.
And then you get there. Um, Normally they flip a coin, and when it's only two people, they'll flip a coin, and then whoever, if the playoff extends, then you kind of will swap order. But you had three of you, and it was going to go in succession. Did you care about what the playoff holes were? I mean, you get to 18, that's the first one, obviously, but then knowing it goes 1, 2, 14, and then 18, like, did any of that matter in your head? Were you thinking ahead at all? Or was it just, one hole at a time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, like when I made the birdie on 18, I was just so happy. I was so happy that I put myself into a playoff. And it's been Missy and I's like ongoing joke for like the last, honestly, 2, maybe even 3 years. Like, come on, we need a Paige Missy playoff. We need a Paige Missy playoff. Like, we want to do like the Mick, what was it? Like, whatever they called the McBeth, McMahon.
Yeah, like the
McBattle.
McBattle, kind of something like that. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we want to go 6 holes. We want to fight it out. Like, and like, she like just always joking, like, we don't even care who wins. Like, let's just freaking go. Let's go 9 holes. Let's do it. Let's like put one down in the record books. And we've been joking about it for a long time. So, we were just like, all right, here it is. It's happening, and, yeah, so I hadn't asked what the playoff holes were at all. And then he said right then, like, okay, we're going to 18. And I just got so excited. I was like, let's go. Cause I was thinking about hole 1. I threw it OB both rounds. And I was like, what am I going to throw on 1? Am I going to switch my disc? What's the wind doing that direction? And then he said 18, and I just grabbed my vulture and I freaking sprinted up the hill. Like, let's go. And yeah, I didn't want it to go to hole 1, but when Owen threw that second shot on the playoff, I was like, holy, she's gonna freaking make this putt. We're going to hole 1. And I was like, I like looked at my caddy and I'm like, what do we think? Like, do I change my disc? Do I just put one in bounds? Like, what do I do? And she's like, let's just wait. Like, this isn't an easy putt. And I'm like, yeah, but it's Owen. Like, she's gonna make that. And I'm like shaking in my boots. Like, what am I gonna throw in hole 1? But it was really cool because we could see people on 2's green. We could see people on 3's tee and 14's tee. And then we had like Luke's card right behind us, and AB and Jake were on hole 1. And so like the whole course was kind of standing still, and it was just like, yeah, it was just really cool. I know, like, I have a hesitation to say this because last time I said this, like, it got taken out of context, like that I don't care if I win, but I obviously care. And I mean, I'm so happy that I won, but like, it would have been so cool in this alternate reality in my head of like going to 18, hole 1, hole 2, hole 14, back to 18, and then like what even happens? Like, the whole rest of the course just stops. Like, so I was just like picturing that as I was laying in bed that night, just like, man, that would have been crazy if we just kept going, but yeah, everything happens as it should. And yeah, I was very happy with it being hole 18, that's for sure.
Yeah, you had 2,
Good.
I mean, on hole 18 and the playoff, phenomenal approaches. Those turnover shots are something I don't feel like we see from a lot of the other field as much these days, because everybody pulls out a forehand. That's the shot. That's what, all these newer kids, they throw that forehand. And watching Owen pump that forehand through that gap, I right away said, oh my God, that's not a great plan, because the OB, you have to throw it so hard and straight that you almost are guaranteed to go OB. And to have her down there, I was like, oh crap, she went OB. And then when the camera gets over there, I'm like, oh no, she didn't. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, was it a double-edged sword that you put it so close on your approach? Clearly you want the gimme, but then Owen has to run at it. Like, Owen, she's good. Not that she's going to lay up no matter what anyway, but there's some danger on that putt. Like if you're 30 feet out, she might give it a little less of a bid, but because we've seen people hit and roll, going on, but you put it right there, which gave her no opportunity. Like it was go or go home for her, and Owen doesn't like to go home.
No. And she said to me too, like she said, after I threw my approach, she walked over to me with her fist out and she was like, "Okay, champ, if I make this putt, it's me and you, hole one. But if I don't, good job, very good job." And yeah, it's just she's awesome. But yeah, to your point about the sidearm, I mean, you saw she actually hit right by the basket, but then a huge skip, and that's my takeaway of like why I prefer to throw the backhand is just like I prefer to not like depend on what may or may not happen when you hit the ground. Maybe you hit a really thick patch and you don't get any skip. Maybe you skip, double skip, triple skip. Maybe so it's like, oh, and actually I didn't hear this myself, but somebody told me a Terry quote from this weekend of like, if there's no roots, there's no trees or something like without roots, there's no trees or something like that. But yeah, again, a reason why you didn't see many rollers, too many skip shots. Like there's just so many roots and so many different like things that can happen, even on a grassy hole like hole 18. That thing just ricocheted 40 feet long. And the Annie just comes in nice and slow and soft, and just one of my favorite shots to throw. So.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I want to go. I know Owen said that too. A little earlier in the hole on 18, there. Owen, we all know, is this competitor, but yet is also obviously a cheerleader and a sweetheart. But as you guys were walking down 18 and Missy threw out of bounds, Owen said something or other to Missy along the lines of, well, something to the effect of like, well, at least you, maybe this is over in one hole and at least you can get lunch right away or something like that. It was just like, she was being nice, but she was also pointing out like, oh, hey, you might be done now, Missy. Like,
yeah.
Like Val's like, too soon.
Yeah.
And again, Owen doesn't, Owen has no mean spirit in her. She wasn't meaning it that way. She was looking for a silver lining, but it was almost a little awkward of like, oh yeah, you might be out now, Missy. Too bad. There's a lot of conversation about the idea of how obviously you guys are so competitive, but then we cut away while you're giving a speech or addressing people and there's cheering and there's Missy smiling from ear to ear, like, and Owned always is cheerleading, no matter if she won by 20 or lost by 10. She's always cheerleading, and you're the same way. How do you find in those moments of this massive event that maybe slipped away or is lost in a playoff or wherever, how do you guys still find a way to like genuinely cheer or be happy for a fellow competitor? And I know you didn't have to this time. How do you suppose anyone does that though?
Yeah, I mean, we all we're closer to each other than we are to our families. We experience everything together, the highs, the lows, the everywhere in between, and like those girls know everything that I've gone through and I know everything that they've gone through, and like we live the same days. We know how hard each other works. We know how bad each other wants it, and it's just like yes, you want it to be you want it to be your week, but you're going to get another chance for starters, but also like you can just see the happiness in the other person. And it's just like when you're watching a movie, even if you're sad, you I don't know what, you just broke up with your longtime partner and you're just, oh, I'm gonna turn on this comedy. You still laugh and you appreciate their love scene in the movie, and like happiness is contagious and smiles are contagious. But also, I mean, Missy and Owen are just like two of the sweetest people. And Missy's, my maid of honor at my wedding. Like, of course she's gonna be there for me, and same for me every time she's ever been there. Yeah. So yeah, it's just I think that's the root of it, no matter who it is. It's like we know what mountain you had to climb to do it. And yeah, I think you want that same respect too, right? So um yeah, I think it's easy. It's not something we think about really. It's just
It's funny because I think of back like 6, 7, 8 years ago, how when it was you and Katrina going head to head, event after event, and there wasn't as much camaraderie, I felt like, as we have now. And I don't know if it's, and part of the talk back then was like, well, we have to play with the same people. It's not like the men who, that lead card bounces around. You'll get like one of 10 or 12 different people. You would always said it's you, Kat, Sarah Hokum, insert fourth person, maybe Val, maybe whomever, and that at some point it started to get grinding. Do you feel like it's become more like what the MPO was 7, 8, 9 years ago, where we're starting to see more FPO players filter in and out of that lead card? So maybe there's less of I don't say a rivalry, maybe. I'll just say it. Maybe there's less of a rivalry with an individual person.
Maybe that could be part of it for sure. But I mean, also I just think we've all grown up. We were young, hungry kids. Like Kat and I are 25, 23 years old. Like thinking we're the best in the world and nothing can go wrong. Everything's always going to go our way. And life hits you and makes you realize like, yeah, it's not that simple. And yeah, we grow up and mature, and I think that's a big part of it. um yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think about how you pose that. I think there's part of it's that, yeah, and you realize like how many different skills there are. It's not just hitting good putts, throwing sidearm, throwing far, hitting gaps. You got to have rollers, you got to have overhead shots, you got to have everything. And so playing with these other girls that have um maybe not the complete package, but it's like, oh, that girl's really good at that. I'm gonna, and like just realizing there's more pieces of the puzzle, even though we've been playing for so long. um there's still things that we can do better and learn. And yeah, I don't know. I think part of it is also just there's yeah, more time spent with those people, more deeper relationships. Yeah, I think a lot of things maybe.
What does that say? And clearly, you're one of the most decorated players of all time. But what does it say to have this streak? And I don't even want to just put it in terms of the streak of 15 consecutive years, but just to think you won an Elite Series or major 15 years ago, you won one 48 hours ago. Like just the span, even if you won 0 in between, obviously you didn't, you won countless some, but just that span of 15 years now and counting between Elite Series or major wins. What does that say about you and your game?
uh yeah, I mean, just I don't know. I mean, if I could do it then, I could definitely do it now. I haven't gotten worse. So it's definitely harder with more talent pool. Um but just trusting myself and my skills, and trying to like overcome whatever's thrown my way. I'm gonna misquote it, but I'll share it on my Instagram story or something maybe. But I saw this like speech that Kirk Cousins was giving the other day, and God, it hit me so hard. It was like the day after I won, I think, and or so yesterday. Time, seriously, time is a trip. Um, wow. But he just said like, that times get tough, and like there's a lot of tough things that happen, and life's gonna be tough to you sometimes. But like if you are tough, you can overcome it. Like, so like the sentiment was just like basically don't give up, like, and just sticking around, and hanging in there and just keep pushing, keep grinding. And things are gonna go your way. You just gotta be tough and fight through all the sticky, uncomfortable stuff. And yeah, oh, there you are. Sorry, I clicked a button. But yeah, I loved that sentiment, and he said it much better than I did. But it just really like made me feel like, man, just being like resilient and being like having grit and determination and just like uh that never quit mentality has definitely led me to that. 15 years, it's crazy how time flies, Terry. Like, I remember being with you like in 2010, like somewhere in Arizona or in Emporia. It's like how that feels like yesterday is just so crazy. And yeah, it's like I feel so tired, but I also just like feel like it's at the same time just like keeping me young and keeping me like motivated and dedicated. And yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know, it's a lot to like think about. And
Uh,
uh yeah.
I was going to say
I
there's.
just
Oh,
a
go ahead,
quick
Terry.
Google search. Let me finish this, Johnny. A quick Google search. It was probably referring to this one by Kirk Cousins. It says it frequently embraces challenges, believing, "quote tough times don't last, tough people do," and that
Yeah, tough times
sounds like
last.
exactly what you certainly are talking about. That overcoming and embracing it all, but knowing that you personally can get through it, and that there's if you're tough and resilient, that
Yeah,
will
there's
outlast
mindset.
any kind of tough times you have.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Johnny?
Oh,
Go
well,
ahead, Johnny.
no, I was going to say, like, you were talking about, the grit and determination and how long you've been doing this. And there's such a parallel that people draw between you and Paul. Like, almost from the first year. Like, just the way you guys have won and the length of time you've been playing, fighting through injuries. Paul recently came out and said, I'd like to look at retiring at 40. Whether he's truly going to do that or not, I don't know. Is that something you're thinking about? Like, or are you looking at Owen Scoggins and going, damn, I'm going to run Masters and Pro Worlds. I'm
Yeah,
going to do this till I'm 45 or 50.
yeah. You know, it's hard to say what my desires and goals are gonna be in I'm 34, so 6 years. It's so hard to call it 6 years from now. I don't see that being in my near future, 6 years from now, like retiring. Also, like, you know, financially, Paul McBeth's in a much different situation than me. So, I don't own a McLaren and 5-bedroom house in Jacksonville Beach. So, and a house in Virginia. So it's a much different situation. I'm yeah, we're trying to have a baby. So it's like I'm not gonna carry, so I'm still gonna keep playing. But yeah, it kind of depends on, how yeah, my desires first and foremost, and my health, I think, also. Um and then yeah, just like I feel young, I feel inspired, I feel motivated. And yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking about that. In short, I'm not thinking about
Okay.
retirement
Great.
anytime soon.
Um, uh, well, that's good to hear. Real quick, just for clarity, hearing you say that about you guys trying to have a baby, is that publicly known? Is that a Smashbox exclusive? Have you guys stated that publicly? Otherwise,
Like on the internet, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it is.
all right. All right, we're gonna claim it. That's a Smashbox exclusive here, folks. Paige Pierce
Okay.
always giving us that's awesome to hear. Obviously, I'm saying all of that with excitement. I didn't know if that I had never heard that was a goal or an active thing for you guys. So that's awesome, and
Yeah,
obviously we all wish you
started
the best.
trying in Texas, like around Waco. So it's been 4 or 5 months, and hasn't gone our way yet. But keep trying.
Sure.
And uh, yeah, there's definitely been some actually at Portland Open hit pretty hard. We thought she was pregnant, and then in the middle of my round, actually, uh, found out that she wasn't. And yeah, I could see her, you know, crying, and I'm just like, what happened? Did I miss something? And yeah, it's it's yeah, it's beautiful, but it's also tough times. I'm sure people experience, but yeah, it's definitely one of daily conversations and desires for sure. Even more, and maybe they're ready. We're
Awesome.
very ready.
Good. Well, we wish you the best of luck, of course.
Of course.
I do want to follow up, and you just talked about uh, not just Paul, but of course the overall sentiment probably of watching, consuming disc golf, the divisions. We've seen some change. It's obviously no secret that we've watched Kristen recently make an announcement about no longer competing, maybe for the foreseeable future. That's at least what she said. So no one should really expect, from the way she worded it, I don't think we should expect to see her necessarily return. Does that play into kind of maybe what you were saying in your post round interview about, hey, disc golf's still here and it's exciting for our division and people should be watching? Like, maybe just dive a little more into
Oh
if was there any kind of reference whatsoever to that, or you're just
no,
still
not
telling
at
people,
all.
hey, like, watch how great this stuff is.
Yeah, no, not at all in my post round interview. I definitely think about it a lot, and I want to reach out to her. I also want to give her some time. I'm sure she's getting bombarded, and just like wants some time to herself. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
obviously wish her the best, and I know she's doing what she needs to do for her happiness. So I'm gonna miss seeing her shots go down the fairway and playing alongside her. Um, and yeah, I'm hopeful for Estonian, or whatever they're gonna call it, your Estonian Open, or whatever our major is there in Estonia. I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna make an appearance, and she'll play just that one next year at least. So I feel like if I was her, well, I mean, we can never know. We're not in her head or in her
Yeah.
shoes. So, but yeah, it's. I think that was a huge, devastating day for the whole disc golf world to hear that. I wasn't surprised to hear for the end of the year, but I was surprised about 2026. At least like this soon announcing that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
give yourself the rest of the season and the off season, and then reassess. But to make a decision that big, she's obviously thought long and hard about it. So yeah, just it's sad for me. It's sad for everyone that's a fan of FPO for sure. But um, I think that also just got to respect that she's made this decision on the best the best possible thing for her. So yeah,
Is
it's
that
it's
i-
crazy.
is that kind of why you brought up? I mean, I think you even mentioned that you hoped the MPO was a blowout, and so like everyone remembered the FPO because of a three-way playoff and stuff. Was that kind of in the back of your head that like you're thinking that maybe people are going to start to dismiss the FPO a little bit because there's no Kristen?
Oh, not at all, not at
Oh,
all. Like I
okay,
said, Kristen had no thought of Kristen at all in
yeah.
my posting. Just in general, just like,
Mhm.
I think that numbers wise, we don't get as many viewers as the men. And it's like it's equally as exciting. Like, in my dreams, I want to see it like tennis, where it's the same time slot on the same channel, and you know
Mhm.
the primetime games, and the equal pay, and the everything like that. It just We have so much talent and excitement, and like you said, you call it cheerleading, but I'm going to challenge you on that, because I don't think you would say that to the men. We'll call it
Cheer,
camaraderie.
cheerleader. Oh,
um
oh.
yeah, but I
Fair
think
enough.
that,
Yep.
like, there's so much to give, or to be seen and appreciated in FPO. And um yeah, I just really, what I was thinking of when I said that is, like, that playoff that I told you me and Missy have been talking about for years. It's like, I think about some of the greatest playoffs in our sports history, and that is Avery and Matteo at Worlds, and it's Ricky and Paul also at Worlds at Blue Lake, and Eagle and Paul there at European Open, and like I want to see a freaking sick FPO one. And I thought that was going to be. I mean, it was still really cool, really, really. I just mean like a long one where you're like, is this going to end? Even like, yeah, then like, I want to see one from FPO.
Well, if
yeah.
You ruined that on 18, unfortunately, because 18, if it was just Missy and Owen, that's something you might get. Like that's a lot tougher. But with your power, that is that puts it right in your wheelhouse. Thankfully for you.
And it's funny, Missy's version of this playoff story is slightly different than yours. We talked to her, Brian talked to her in the post-round interview, and she brings up the playoff and you always talking about it. And Missy, in so many words, was like, yeah, that's great, but I'd rather just beat you. Like, which is a very fun competitive version of it too. Like, if you have the chance to go into a playoff or not. Yeah.
And she'll say it to me, and she's like, yeah, sure, we can do that and all, but like, I'm still going to win. And I'm like, I don't even honestly care. Let's just go 8 holes and then here you go. You got it. No worries. But
that's awesome.
Every time I bring it up.
What does that say? Let's zoom out just a little. And maybe it's this course, maybe it's just this weekend, but what does it say when there's the 3 of you shooting 11 under, all getting there in very different ways, including, Sunday, but 3 of you at 11, and then the next closest was, I think, Jessica Weiss at 1 over. Mm-hmm. Did you guys, was that just, is that the time of the 4 rounds? You guys just pulled away? You guys were playing 10 times better? Like, what should a 12-hole difference between the 3 of you and then the next place, is there anything we can take from it?
Honestly, I think there's a lot of factors on that. I really do. I think the biggest one being ending at Fox Run, 2 in a row at Fox Run. I think that is the biggest score separator. If we played the last 2 at Brewster, I think it would have been a lot different. I think you would have had about 7 different people in the running at the end there. But yeah, on Fox with all the OB and wind exposure, I think so that's just kind of brings me to my next point, is just like the wind with OBs, and on top of that, we're late in the season. People are on their 3rd, 4th, 5th string discs in their bag. They don't really know those discs super well and haven't played in the wind in a little bit. What are these discs? Ooh, OB right there, boom, out of bounds, so yeah, there's not a whole lot of easy birdies. So once you get over par, it's hard to climb back. And then I think, to be honest, we're at the point now in the season where people are starting to panic about off season. What am I going to do? Do I need to find a job for the off season? Am I going to re-sign with this company? Should I start testing out other discs? And also burnout. A lot of people are just tired. So I think a lot of things go into that. But I don't think you're going to see that here at Maple. There's a lot less OB and a lot less windy open shots with OB. So I don't think you're going to see that again. I think it was just kind of the setup of the course. And yeah, also knowing you can't win, it's like you're not quitting, but you're just not push hard. So I think like them having that little jump there, however many strokes that was, and like instead you're fighting for 4th or 5th or 6th, it's a little less inspiring and like doesn't provoke the best golf.
Okay. What you were the one that said it. Contract year. You went to Discraft with a 5-year, I believe, right? It was 5, not 4. A 5-year setup.
4, and
initially
4.
Okay. So obviously, as they're making discs for you, and you've had this great relationship and everything else, great to pull off a big win, keep this streak alive, and it's so much more than just winning and losing, I know, in terms of being on a team. But what do you feel like those conversations are like? Or when Bob watches this tomorrow, what should he know along with the rest of the world when it comes to sponsorship conversation for next year and beyond?
All right, Bob. This is what I want. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's I would say 9.5% shining discraft. I don't have any other like wants. There's nowhere else I want to go. The only thing is just
don't show all your cards, Paige. Paige, don't show all your cards right now. I mean, come on, make them work for it.
But yeah, I want to feel that I'm wanted, that I'm respected, that they know I'm not settling. Like, I want them to want me as well, and I believe that, but it's very mutual. So that's like, yeah, it seems like easy, but yeah, there's definitely still conversations and like logistics and yeah. So it's more of like, how do we mutually merge even farther, and how long do we do it for? So
yeah, you're in a different position for this contract. It's funny thinking about like 4 or 5 years ago, you were basically the number one woman in the world. No questions asked. And you're coming in now, and there's other women who are right there with you. Holland Hanley and Missy Gannon on your same team are rated higher than you right now. And, Owen Scoggins rated higher. You're like the fifth highest rated? I don't know. I haven't looked recently, but
I have no idea what my rating is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Once I dropped down to 96, I stopped paying attention. Too sad. Too sad.
Sorry, too soon. I mean, so you're in a totally different position now, as far as even how the team looks. You were, and maybe you still are, kind of the team leader for FPO. Is that, do you feel like that's the case, or do you look at it differently on the team?
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, I think that I'm the most valuable female on the team, but I have to prove that now. It's not just what I think, it's what's reality. I think, yeah. And this is just weird, and it's like, I don't like that part of it. It's like, we're teammates, and we should be pushing each other forward and stuff. But it is weird when it's like, okay, who's getting what, and it's like at Christmas, like, or something, or I don't even know like what's a good metaphor, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that my career speaks for itself. I mean, yeah, and it's obvious that I'm not going anywhere. And I'm loyal, and I'm a 5-time world champion. I've won 17 majors, 15 years of winning Elite Series. Like, yeah, I don't, and that's the tricky part, is like getting an agent to do the talking, so that I'm not like, well, you should think this, and I'm the best, and but I do feel like my stats, besides my rating or whatever, I think that I sell more discs, and yeah, I don't know, it's a tricky situation, and I don't really, yeah.
It's tough. It is. It's awkward. It's always awkward trying to sell yourself, and that's the way it is in life, and obviously the way it is for contracts as well. But I don't have all the numbers. I don't know what Bob sees, but I'm sure, with knowing Discraft the way that we have in the last few years, I personally don't expect to see you anywhere else next year. So,
well, let's take that thought, because I saw your post. Let's take that thought and talk about Glow Passions. Mega Glow Passions this weekend. Is that what
Yeah.
you've got all geared up for everyone out at Maple Hill?
Yeah, well, so those were actually for Green Mountain Championship. They weren't for my win. We just had planned that
Okay.
release for Green Mountain.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were in person only at Green Mountain. We didn't drop them online or anything, but I grabbed a box and I was like, "Bob, can I take this to Maple Hill?" And just so I brought 50 of them here to Maple Hill just to spread the love. But yeah, so Mega Glow Passions are insane. Actually, do I have any in here? Maybe. Oh yeah, I do. Cool.
Discraft does not pay me anything to say this, but the Mega Glows that have dropped, just like yours when you posted it, are
Okay.
the glow on them is insane. That we've seen on the Level Up Lunas. Paige just disconnected. Oh, okay. I was like,
Nope.
we
She's
lost
there,
her,
Terry.
and there you go.
But I actually have 3% battery.
All right.
Okay, so we might lose you soon.
No, I'm gonna plug in. Don't worry.
All right. Good.
Okay. But the Mega Glow that's been added to the Lunas, to the Buzzes, and now I assume the same mixture to the Passions has been incredible. I among millions of others have ripped on glow material from Discraft for the last 20 years, and whatever they've done to fix it and to get it right now, it has been very impressive. So that's awesome that now incorporated into your Passions.
Yeah, amazing.
Good.
Very
This week, we kind of danced on it, but this week, favorite week of the year. You've said it, one of the best events on the planet, if not the best. All of the good vibes. Massive FOMO for me being in the Ben studio and not on site. I'll openly admit that. But what are some of the things? Tomorrow's probably crazy out at Polar Park, or are you doing some things, or is it just the madness of the whole week? What do you got in store?
Yeah, so I actually for so minutes. I'm my roommates this week. OTB, he's on the bag this week. Flew him out to Caddy, and his girlfriend's coming, so they're gonna be staying in my RV with me. I just cleaned out their bed right before this, and yeah, so yeah, it's funny. It's gonna be like, hey guys, yeah, sleepover. But yeah, just being on site the whole time. It's like it feels. I know it's funny. I'll have to post a little story or something, but yeah, just being on site, it's my favorite place to be. I just absolutely love it. And yeah, there's just events like all day long of all different sorts. He's got like pie eating contests and like ping pong tournaments and you know, glow golf and all kinds of things. So tomorrow I'm gonna wake up early. It's gonna rain most of the day. So I'm gonna wake up really early and just if it's not raining, just get out immediately. Basically just wait for a break in the rain and just get around in. And then I wasn't sure if that Polar Park thing, but that conferences are, so I have to go anyway for the press conference. So I'll probably stay there for an hour or so. I think there's some putting competitions and there's a skins match, but I'm not involved in that skins match. I did one today though at mile marker 63. That was fun. And then yeah, just tournament time the next day. So getting an early night, and then yeah, so you got tournaments like during the day, and ladies were always finished by 1ish. And then there's like right along everyone that knows Maple Hill knows about the 8 holes and all the people on hole 8. But hole 18, it's like the whole stretch of 18's fairway they have with different tents, and people are like tailgating like straight up like their cars like in their trucks, but they got tents and they're all like cooking, like grilling up different meats and stuff like that. And they're like, I don't know if it's a actual competition where they're like who has the best food, but it feels like that. Like everyone's cooking something different and they're all like um open to the pros. So like that's where when you finish your round, you kind of go to hole 18 now. and you kind of sit in their couches and all this stuff they got and cheer on people coming in hole 18 and yeah, and then wait for the nighttime activities like the pie eating and all that, and then he's got ice cream social and what's the other thing? And it's all corner and endless activities to do within 100-foot distance. So
Yeah, Maple Hill is very special to a lot of people, all for all the right reasons, and then some. It's never been short on entertainment. I'll have to bust out some of the old video blogs of some Sting Pong. Remember when Wysocki and a few others were taking off their shirts and then smacking smacking ping pong balls at each other, and and there was some stupid game they made out of it, and everybody's all welted up with ping pong welts. Yeah, things get out of hand sometimes, but
yeah. So actually, the game house
that's what you guys love to do.
There's a barbecue restaurant up there now, so all they have is the air hockey, or no, sorry, what's the foosball, and one other. So the upstairs is a full-time barbecue restaurant now, and the ping pong room's still there, so we'll be up there for sure. But mostly just on-site disc golf and whatnot.
I was just gonna say, I know it's all about being on site. It is truly just the greatest week of the year. But if you go off site for anything else, what might that be? Because I know there's restaurants and breweries and everything else. Where would you go?
No, I literally don't leave. I left today because there was a OTB skins, the Go Throw skins, at mile marker 63, the course that Casey and Simon designed. So yeah, we went there and did that, and that was fun. We did a mixed doubles version of the skins, so that was really fun. And yeah, that was it. I came back today and they were like, "Hey, are you gonna leave again?" I was like, "Nope." So got my van all leveled up, and I'm here. I'm here to stay. But I really do need
getting it prepped for guests. Yes, some laundry. Love it. Paige, before we let you go, I want to know if there's, obviously Brian does a great job, but there's also a ton of emotion, and it's right there in the moment, especially after a 3-hole playoff. It's not like you walked in a 9-stroke lead, so you could have it maybe prepped in your head. Is there anything or anyone or any either props or recognition and thanks, anything you want to say or address to anyone out there that maybe wasn't in the moment on Sunday afternoon or Sunday early afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, totally. It's hard to wrap it all up for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to my sponsors that have supported me, Discraft, OTB, Grip, and Bag Boy. And they're my rock when I'm not cashing well and I'm not like playing up to my standards, and they support me and keep me on tour for sure. And then all the people that have been at the fly marts that have bought my jerseys and my discs, my passions, fierces, drives, you guys definitely put the gas in the tank. And just like, also it's just like, it feels like we're a team. When I see someone in a Paige shirt out there, I'm like, okay, I know your energy is coming to me. And like, when I throw a good shot, you're stoked. When I throw a bad shot, you're feeling it with me. So it's really like, just, I guess, like heartwarming to see that. So just thanks to all the people that support me and buying my stuff at the fly markets and stuff, and all the people that have let me stay at their houses and bought me a lunch or whatever it may be. It's just like, it goes a long way, and definitely is never under. So yeah, what else? I mean, I shouted out on my Instagram because I forgot about that one. But the homies at my putting league friends, especially, like, of course, weeklies and playing, but like playing, what got me in it on this event. Like, if I'm not making those big putts, I'm not getting those strokes, but I'm also not pressure or any of that momentum. So that was a huge, and that's definitely a huge part, like going to that putting league regularly and playing against those good putters. And yeah, just thank you guys. Appreciate you guys all, everyone.
Does it mean, our good friend Matt the Stat Parker pointed this out to me, but $10,000 this weekend ties for your largest payout ever for winning an event.
Wow.
Maybe reflect on that. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh yeah, I mean, huge, huge, huge. I mean, that's huge. That's our mortgage is probably a little under $2,000, so that's like 5 months rent. Or 5 months of a mortgage. But really, it's just paying off the roof and mold and all the stuff that we found wrong with our house. Did I lose you guys?
Nope, we're here. You're a little choppy.
No, you're
but
just
we're
a
here.
little. You're just a little choppy, probably back and forth, and we can make out what you're saying. But yeah, you were saying the home renovations, which I saw you post on social that.
Okay.
That you went back and worked on home renovations for a while with Alyssa, and a lot of things have been going on, and like you said, mold, and then redoing some things. So I know those have all been taking away from your time on the course, but then also have a financial implication. So putting an extra $10K in your pocket, Sunday afternoon certainly doesn't hurt any of those efforts. All right, Paige.
Yeah,
I think we're at the point where it's
very, very huge
all right
for us. And yeah,
awesome. No, yeah, go ahead, say goodbye to everyone if you would. We'll officially let you go, but go ahead and say goodbye, and thank you for joining us. But feel free to sign us off.
I can tell we're
and we got there, kinda. Goodbye, Paige.
Right.
Good night. Thanks for joining.
Good night, Paige. My guess, I mean, she
wishes us well.
She
does. Says thank you to all the viewers and listeners, and she loved being here, and we're her favorite podcast.
Yep.
And she loves giving us exclusive information shared nowhere else. So we'll take it, and thank you.
Yep.
Congratulations to Paige on such an incredible weekend. Yes, there's a ton of storylines, but then there's the human component of someone battling back the way she has after all these injuries to then put on the show that she did. To just the deficit alone is so much of the story with both her and Own.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it a conversation, yes, that means Missy had to fall back a little, but she also was challenged and felt pressure within the first couple of holes. And that's exactly what Paige and exactly what Own did. It made for a very exciting day of golf. And no, it wasn't boring on the MPO side either, but it definitely kept my blood pumping extra hard all day because of what happened in FPO and then as well as what happened in MPO. It was awesome. So congratulations to Paige. All right, let's Johnny, let's run through all of we know who won, but let's run quickly through our top 5 or 10 in FPO, and then we'll quickly run through the top 5 or 10 or so in MPO at the Green Mountain Championship.
Tied for second, Owen Scoggins and Missy Gannon losing in that playoff. Fourth place, Jessica Weiss, a.k.a. Jessica Gerthy. She is still Jessica Weiss on the PDGA site, so that's why we're still calling her that. I just don't think she's probably went online and updated or contacted anyone. I'm guessing maybe at her renewal is when we'll see the updated name, possibly. Fifth place, Lisa Fakis, who putted awesome this weekend. It was like almost classic Lisa Fakis right there, and she performed so well at Brewster that it was a little disappointing, unfortunately, that she couldn't keep up at Fox Run, but ultimately a great finish in fifth place. 6th place, Ella Hansen, tied with Tugas Monaste, Anali Tugas Monaste, and Evelina Salonen. In 9th place, a tie between Haley King, Alan Hanley, Silva Saarinen. That is your top 10 right there. Hanley and Saarinen finishing well below expectations.
Yeah, I think that's clearly, I don't want to say just a fair statement, but it's statistically an accurate statement. An accurate statement. And man, there's been, without trying to beat a dead horse or try to be a psychologist, there is definitely something not firing on all cylinders for Holland Hanley. And you can say that more than ever, considering where she was all the way up into the Worlds. That really was the point where she fell out of the World's top 5, very surprisingly to everybody, probably herself included. And you have struggles and challenges that go with that. And then just kind of never, didn't return fully. Obviously a factor at Deglow, obviously a chance to win that event. And that was maybe what we felt was the tipping point. But then to turn around and just a couple of weeks later come back here and struggle the way that she did at Green Mountain, yes, in the wooded course mostly, but to struggle there, I think was shocking. And clearly some very big paychecks and very big events on the line for the next 4 weeks, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even say she struggled on the wooded course. She shot even and +4, and then she comes out to Fox and shoots -4, +3. Like, she was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde at both courses. So, and I feel like, as Paige had kind of emphasized, I always feel it's easier to kind of have those big scattered holes at Brewster because you can get caught in the woods. But Paige was 100% right in that if you're off by a little bit at Fox, you're ending up OB and taking those same strokes. So, yeah, something up with Holland Hanley. And I hope whatever it is, she figures it out and finds a way to kind of right the ship hopefully by this event. But if not, then throw pink coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah. I will quickly address, as I see it on the board, and what you just said actually about Jessica. First of all, I wholeheartedly admit that there was more than once when I would call her Jessica Weiss and then turn around and call her Jessica Gerthy. More often than not, I feel like I referred to her as Gerthy. She is, in fact, legally Jessica Gerthy and has changed her name. Yep. And she's not keeping Weiss even from a we'll say a disc golfer perspective or from a branding perspective. She has officially changed her name to Gerthy. Like you said, it has not gone through on the PDGA side, or if it hasn't, it doesn't automatically update through the graphics. Whatever the case is, I just want everyone to know, if I slip up and say Weiss, it's just that. It's a slip up. And I totally admit to having done it. It's really difficult to look at someone's name on screen that you've known for 20 years and then still call them something else. Nonetheless, it is Gerthy. I want everyone to know that. I have leaned into that. I know that's what it is. I did a walk and talk with her at Deglow, and she even made the joke about how she's a Gerthy now, and so she has to throw far. So that is all just official, and I want to make sure from my perspective, as many times as I may or may not screw it up, I am very aware that it is Gerthy, and that's I feel like I was 90-10. I feel like 90% of the time I did nail it. It's just sometimes in the heat of the moment and excitement, you say Weiss, and then a minute later you say Gerthy. So I can understand how someone's like, get it right, idiot. So
it's tough. I mean,
but
in the heat of
it is
in the heat of talking,
excitement,
and
really,
it,
yeah,
and excitement. Calling her something we've called her for 20 years. Like you said, I mean, we've known her forever. We've known the princess for the longest time. And
Disc Princess.
The Disc Princess. And so it is going to be a little difficult for everybody. The same way people messed up Kristen's name and we barely knew Kristen. We knew Kristen, quote unquote, for only a few years on the tour. And when she went from Tatar to Lot, that was different. We've known Weiss for 20 years, so going from a name that we know very well to Gerthy, it's a little weird and confusing, but Everybody will get it right soon. Let's talk about people who don't usually change their names. We're going to talk about the MPO division.
Real quick, I do want to also reflect on Anale Tulgas Monaste.
Anale Tulgas Monaste.
Our producer, Mo, mispronounced her name 40 effing times, and we would cut to her, and even though I have practiced and feel like I know her name pretty well, and I'm purposely throwing him under the bus here. When someone, it's one thing to see it on screen, it's another thing to say, all right, as soon as this Weiss putt falls, we're going to Tagas Ministe, or whatever he would say in my ear. It would throw me off every effing time, and I apologize. At the end of the day, this is my fault. I am the paid announcer, and I'm not making excuses, but I am. I'm just telling you that's what happens. And I swear I mispronounced her name 10 times at least this weekend. And the worst part is, coming into the weekend, I know her name. I think I know how to pronounce it correctly. And every single time, and I yelled at him. I say, don't do that. Do not say the wrong name, or say it right if you're going to then lead me to the clip, because you instantly, and that's a funny scenario, you instantly go, okay, right after Weiss, we're going to Ministe. It's like, don't do that, because that's what's in your mind, is that you're trying to spit out her name 5 seconds later. I know it sounds silly, but it's tougher to do than you think. And it's my fault for the most part. It's my mouth, but it is very difficult.
In the control room, as I've said, we come up with very silly, I'm not in there anymore, nicknames for players. I would rather it just be a silly nickname than a mispronunciation of her name to throw off the commentators. But I don't know. Deal with it, Miller.
ATM. We're leaning into ATM now.
Okay.
Anale Tulgas Monaste.
Sure.
That's maybe cute in that it's a nickname. I don't mean cute, just male woman. I just mean it's a nickname. But that's also like a lazy way out for us to not screw up her name either. And I don't want to do that. It does keep you away from saying her full name.
That's fine from the control room. That's not going to work for you. The only way she gets to get the nickname ATM is if she starts winning some fat cash. That's the only way she gets the ATM nickname.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So real quick, I'm gonna totally go off the rails for a second and say, I don't know if you were listening, but I did make the ATM time machine connection this weekend.
I missed that.
And that's something that I feel like,
so it was more regional.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I had to explain to everybody, is that when debit cards basically came up when you and I were kids, that's when they became a thing. And in our area of the country, specifically in Wisconsin, we had a branded ATM company, and it was spelled TYME, which stood for Take Your Money Everywhere. But when I learned, I think it was when we went to an event in Iowa, and I specifically said to a disc golfer, hey, where's the time machine? And they thought I was just crazy. Like, what the F are you talking
Easy there,
about?
Marty McFly.
Like, we have exactly. And so just for everyone's, again, I guess it's funny. ATM, even still, to this day, ATM sounds weird for me to say.
It does. It's me too. It's still a time machine.
Because when we learned what they were, it was a time machine. So just thought that, And Ed says, never heard of a time machine. Understandably.
It was locally,
it was regional.
Midwest regional branded.
Val made the good joke or connection then when we were putting ATM with Anale, and then she said, well, and then I was giving the story, and she's, we said, well, take your money to Estonia, or take, or something. Maybe there's a connection there. Anyway, I wanted to get that cleared up for the people that thought I was still crazy on the broadcast.
Well, you are.
How about the men?
We'll move over to the men.
True.
Getting the Smashbox bump. We had him on 2 weeks ago after he won. He just wins again.
Yep.
He took a week off.
You're welcome, Paul.
Let somebody else win, but then comes back and gets another one. Paul McBeth wins the Green Mountain Championship. 2021 was the last time both these players won in the same event. Paul and Paige. Second place, Gannon Burr. 2 strokes behind Paul McBeth. It was going to be very difficult for Gannon to catch Paul in general. Obviously, Paul shot an 8 down. Gannon shot a 13. It was possible, but it was unlikely with like 5 or 6 holes to go, unless Paul made a big mistake. That was really what it was. And this course, Fox Run, I don't feel lends to big mistakes on the final few holes. You can miss putts, you can miss birdies. You might even pull in a bogey, but you're not probably pulling in a double anywhere on those last 5 or 6 holes. It's just not usually likely. So Gannon Buhr takes second place. Just a phenomenal back 10 to be honest, from Gannon. And it just goes to show the thing that he said recently, that he can just flip a switch when he needs to in these back 9s. And just like, I need to get them all. And he will. It's gross. It's almost, I don't want to, it's along the same lines as what we used to call beast mode. And I think we're going to have to start recognizing it as something, whether it's ice in your veins or ice mode or, I don't know, the chest freezer, whatever you want to call them. We'll come up with something clever. But
Ice G, instead of like iced tea.
He's like a polar bear. Is it just, here comes the polar bear?
Yeah, they're at Polar Park next weekend, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except for he's like so skinny.
I know, that's the problem. He's
like
not hairy, so. But we'll figure it out.
We got to workshop that.
We will workshop that, Terry. Third place, Cole Ridallen, having a pretty good last few weeks. Cole finished at 36. He was in a better position to catch Paul than Gannon was for a while, but unfortunately, through the middle of the round, ran into a couple bogeys. But ultimately, Cole going, stroke for stroke with Paul for quite a while was a lot of fun to watch. And I know Cole coming off of an injury last year, just kind of lingering for a while. Hopefully, if this is what we get from Cole for the next few years, it's going to be a lot of fun because he's so smooth. And I was watching I just watched his final putt, and I know he missed it, but just how lazily he was able to throw like a 35-foot uphill putt. It barely looked like he put anything on it, and he chained out and whatever, but just what such a pretty form to have, and so he throws so freaking far and so smooth. I don't know. It's not fair.
I liken his putt in terms of how little effort he needs to put into it to Gannon's drive. Like Gannon blasts his putter, right?
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's throwing it hard and then it hits chains aggressively. Cole, when he's throwing his putt, it's just so, I don't want to call it dainty. It just lofts. It's right on line.
Effortless.
It looks like he's barely even throwing the disc. He's effortless, and that's exactly what we see, I feel like, out of Gannon's driver when he's throwing. It's incredible.
Fourth place.
Yeah.
A rookie of the year 2 years ago, I believe, was Paul Kranz. Pronounced Paul Kranz.
Not unless you're Nate Sexton.
I think Nate Doss also kind of let that slip once or twice in there, and I know he might join us in a little bit, but I know it's hard when somebody else is pronouncing it differently, and then you question yourself.
Really?
Yeah, you question yourself,
Really?
like, is it right or wrong? But it is. I went back and looked at it in the bag. It is definitely Paul Kranz. So Paul Kranz in fourth place at 35 under par. Tied for fifth, Parker Welk, another name we haven't mentioned very often, shooting 12 under. Parker, just solid overall. He's been playing pretty well lately as well. So it's nice to see that he hopefully won't be just known as like a little flash in the pan DDO winner. If he can keep up this top 10 thing for the next, I know we're getting to the end of the season, so it's going to be difficult, but if he can find whatever it was that he was been missing the last few months and really get back on track, Parker's a name to watch. Isaac Robinson tied as well at fifth. Ezra Robinson at seventh, so Isaac beating Ezra by a single stroke. Ezra tied with Calvin Heimberg at 33 under par. Ninth place, Adam Hammis. And in 10th place, Niklas Antala. And Niklas having a great back nine as well, birdieing 10 through 18.
Yeah, the perfect back nine.
Yeah.
At one point, there was 3 players that were simultaneously all in threat of getting perfect back nines, and that was after we already watched Evan Smith do it. Then we had 3 other players that were in contention for that. I believe it was Kyle Klein, it was Antala, and it was someone else who was having
Tipton had 6 in a row
as well.
Tipton went 10 through
it
6-15, but
yeah, okay. Whatever it was, I know we had at least 3 players that simultaneously all in the running for doing it. Yeah, it was it seems like everyone loves these courses. And they're the yin and yang, and they're the woods, and they're the open. I guess 2 questions. One would be, do you love the courses? And 2, even though it's almost exclusively for spectator reasons, do we love or hate that it went AABB in terms of how they were played? So A, do you love the courses, and B, do you like the scheduling?
No, I hate the scheduling. Honestly, it feels, and as a player, I might like it because
sure,
I don't have to switch back and forth. Once I'm in Fox Run mode, I'm in Fox Run mode. You know, that makes sense. I could see that as a player, that might be an advantage. As a spectator, I dislike it. I would rather see a mix-up just because, like, it just, to get a little bit more variety, kind of break it up a little bit, I would much rather see a mix-up. As far as the courses go, I think they're great courses. Fox Run has so many distinct holes. I don't feel that same way about Brewster. I feel like the front, after hole 1, I feel like kind of 2 through 8 kind of just blend together a little bit at Brewster. There's just like, all right, it's another shot in the woods, another shot in the woods, whatever. I think the back half of Brewster is good. I think the whole course is good. Just visually, it blends together a little bit much in some spots where it's hard. If you tune in, it's hard to tell where somebody is. It's like Northwood Black. Like, there's 2 or 3 holes there. You're like, I have no clue where they are. They could be on hole 4. They could be on hole 14. I don't know. And so there's a little less real distinctive holes as opposed to Fox Run. But it's different because Fox Run is much more open, and every shot I feel like is well, it's not unique. The hole is unique. It's easier to see the hole as a whole, as a WHOLE. So I do like it. Somebody had asked, though, like, in general, most of these courses that we see on tour, I would love to see every other year. I don't need Brewster every year. I don't need GMC every year. Not only do we see that the spectatorship didn't look great. I don't know what their actual numbers are. It's always hard to tell because you're just getting what we see on camera. Maybe there was a bunch of people following other cards that were on course, and it's bigger than it looks. Whatever. It's difficult. That course is not near anything. Like, it's the spectatorship is a little more difficult there. It kind of feels like Emporia. Like, cool. You know, getting someone to Emporia is difficult if you're not in Emporia. Getting someone to Jeffersonville or Smuggler's Notch, depending on what you want to say, is it really that different, Terry?
I'm laughing heartily because just the idea of like Emporia and Vermont and
clearly
saying they're similar, but I know that's why I'm laughing.
Two
of course,
different layouts.
But in terms,
an hour and a half, right?
From terms anything? Of remoteness, less than that. I don't know. I want to say Burlington is 45-ish to an hour. And even Burlington, you're like, what? Where the F is Burlington?
All right,
like,
so
maybe right. Like, nobody knows that that's the capital of Vermont unless you probably live there or you're great from third grade. And it's got Ben and Jerry's, and it's obviously one of the most beautiful areas on the planet, right? We get that. But you are 100% right in terms of its remoteness, in terms of we're up in what feels like the middle of nowhere, as beautiful as it is, and as amazing as all of Vermont and Maine and all of that area is, especially this time of year. I 100% see what you're saying in terms of its in this case, expensive remoteness.
Yeah,
you know,
like finding a place
Emporia,
to not
and
camp.
no one's like, man, these hotels are just getting over on us in Emporia. You know, all $87, and these drinks at the bar for $275. Jeez, like nobody's saying that. Yeah, I mean, it's East Coast, it's New England, it's, you know, upper, you know, that side of the country. So you're talking about everything more expensive and very remote. No one, and similarly, or maybe again, even conversely, no one says, yeah, you know, I was just heading through Smuggler's Notch on my way somewhere. Like, no one would say that. You accidentally go through Emporia. You accidentally go across Kansas at some point in your life. You don't accidentally, you know, stroll through Vermont unless you're intended to be there for some specific reason. Now, with all of that being said, it is beautiful. It is, you know, nature's paradise. There's a million things to do there in that area, especially if you're outdoorsy. We're there at just the right time of year. All of those things, you know, are currently outweighing the cons to, yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. So I agree with you, but it does for a moment make you chuckle when you put Emporia and Jeffersonville in the same breath. But you're not wrong about getting spectators there. We had them there for Worlds, but that was the Worlds. Vermont's a great disc golf scene. New England's a great disc golf scene, but we're not getting 5,000 people to Smugglers. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you're saying.
There are people
that's
right
not
now
happening.
That are screaming at our podcast, Terry. Burlington is not the capital of Vermont. It's Montpelier. So.
Oh, good call. See, who
yeah.
we both thought it was. Or
Burlington,
I did anyway.
I did for a second, then I thought about it. I'm like, no, Burlington's the coat place. I'm like, that's what Burlington is, the capital of coats. So
okay, 100% right. I am dead wrong. I even spit it out. There you go.
That's
the
fine.
Trick question. That's the trick question.
That's neither here nor
of
there.
capitals.
But anyway, going back to that, that's kind of how I feel about. If we don't care about spectatorship, then fine. Like, we could keep having it at GMC year after year after year. I don't care. The players love it. The courses are good. It's nice to have two varieties of courses. You know, you got the wooded and the open, so to speak. I've got no problem with it. In general, as a philosophy, I wouldn't mind if we kind of flip-flopped on two different tours. I think I've even said this before. You know, maybe an odd year, even year tour. Like, oh, cool, this is an even year tour. We're going to Vermont. We're going to Ledgestone. We're going to GMC. And then, oh, it's an odd year tour. All right, we're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. We're going to hit San Diego. We're going to hit Vegas, or whatever that could be, and, you know, extrapolate that. That is more of what I would like to see personally.
Yeah.
There are,
and we know that
it's logistics, and I get it. I'm not here to you know, to crap on anybody as far as what we can do, because there are only so many good or great TDs out there that can raise the money and create this tour and put it in the best spots and whatnot, all of that stuff. Just as a fantasy land, I would love that. That's my own take.
Sure. Yeah. And I'll just piggyback on what you're saying. You and I both understand the realities of momentum and of clubs and of these title sponsors and these locations and timing and dates. So doing exactly what you're saying is not necessarily practical at this point. But yes, in a fantasy world where we could pick and choose and do really whatever we want, that's a great way to cycle in not just legacy events, but to also cycle in and try out new events on any given year, and not always feel like we're on repeat. And most people will say, most players I feel like would say, I never want to skip GMC. I never don't want to be there, and I never want to not play Maple Hill.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where a couple of our events feel like they're locked in forever no matter what, and I get that. But from a overall perspective of variety and trying something new, yeah, I totally agree with you. It would be cool. I mean, you know,
and maybe
there's a lot
the
of
playoffs
conversation.
Maybe the playoffs are the same, or however that works. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. This is Fantasyland. This is what Terry and Johnny would love to see in the grand scheme of things, but we know it's not always realistic. So
yeah, or practical. So, I don't know if there were. Well, I'm sure there were other takeaways from the weekend, and the battle that we saw on both MPO and FPO, I will say, playoff labeled or titled or playoff implicated, none of that mattered. It was just great golf that had two legends of our game ultimately pull it off. And of course, there's been a lot of hype over Paul winning a couple weeks ago. That had all of its implications to it and is, monumental for a number of reasons. And Paige, who hasn't found the winner's circle at all this year, there was something that was just a little, like, if you're a little more old school like you and I
loved it.
To see them both do it on the same weekend was a really fun, like, those were the sprinkles, right? The sprinkles on top of a great cake or dessert or donut or ice cream cone, wherever you want to put sprinkles. What do they call them? Jimmies?
Jimmies.
Is that what they call them in the East?
Yeah, on the East Coast, I think they call them Jimmies.
Again, something you and I would never say in a million years.
No.
But yeah, I think they call those Jimmies. Whatever the case is, it was pretty cool to see. And we head to Maple Hill with all of that madness, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Anything else that is of note of this weekend that need to be?
Yeah, Terry. Did you get out and throw for more?
I did.
That's
there's two parts to this,
but I heard $67,000 was raised this weekend for the Paul McBeth Foundation.
Dang.
Yeah,
which isn't bad considering the goal was 15,000. So more than 4 times what it was. And
sounds like you need to set your goals higher, McBeth Foundation.
Indirectly, I'm gonna definitely find a way to add to that. And so here, real quick, we got done with the broadcast. I was committed to the idea of being involved, even though I didn't start a team and doing all that stuff. But I wanted to find a way to at least contribute something. So I set it up, I think, so that I would be tracked when I went over to Bevel's putting course. And I did that. I didn't have a ton of time, but I was able to get in the putting course over at Bevel. That's 18 holes. Doesn't take you very long because you're just throwing one shot per basket. Well, ideally one. If you miss, you play it like a regular hole, except for everything's a par 2. And I was able to get through that. I linked that, I think, directly at some point, and I have to make that was the pledge I made. I think I pledged $1 a hole is what I think I pledged that I would give. And then I played 18 holes. So I'm going to contribute to that. But that wasn't enough for me. So I'm going to take some of the discs that were released at either Ledgestone or D-Glow, one of the two, and I'm going to sell something for one of those and 100% of the sale. So
nice.
Even aside from what it cost me, I don't care, 100% of the sale. So if they sell for $50 or $100 or whatever they sell for, that full amount I will then make that straight donation as well to the McBeth Foundation, because I couldn't get in on the whole pledging thing to an extent that I wanted to because of being busy. So I'll just take some McBeth disc, sell it, and 100% of that sale will ultimately go to the McBeth Foundation, and I'll tack that on in one way or another. So awesome to see, though. Do you have in front of you?
No, that's really
toplets?
Terry, I was gonna say that's really cute. That's a real nice little thing you're doing. You're no Tarmo Thompson.
I am not.
Tarmo Thompson from Estonia.
Give us the details.
Played a mind-boggling, as the headline goes, 2,700 holes of disc golf in 24 hours.
He's in Estonia, so the time zone with the way that's not fair.
Well, maybe if there's a international timeline where he could get an extra hour if he crossed it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2,700 holes of disc golf in 24 hours. He threw 4,497 putts. Do you think he got those all on UDisc? Marked them all on UDisc as he's going?
He better have.
Yeah. That would just seem like tedious to me at that point. Like, come on. And walked 116,487 steps in those 24 hours, covering 42 miles.
Yeah, okay.
That is
10,005 miles, yeah.
Legend. It's no doubt legendary. Like that is.
Dang.
I can't even imagine how sore he was the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how much his arm probably felt like Jell-O. Even, like, I'm just thinking, like, if you just went in your backyard and threw 4,400 putts from 15 feet, not even a tough one, like, just, I'm going to throw 15-footers, threw 4,000 of them in a day, you're going to need someone to help you go to the bathroom the next day. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to wipe your own butt. I'm sorry. Like, you can't comb your hair. I've worked out before where, like, the next day your arms are sore and you can't wash your hair. Like, you have to kind of pull your head down and you're, like, lifting one arm up to wash your hair. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, he just had to lay there the next day, I'd imagine. Just kind of like, leave me alone. I did my thing. But ultimately, 2,700 holes of disc golf. My hat's off to you, sir.
I'm the only thing. Awesome, congratulations. I'm just confused as to why one of the leaderboards that I saw from our friends at the McBeth Foundation doesn't. Oh, there he is. Okay. Because he wasn't necessarily leading in the money earned.
Sure,
but definitely led. Okay. Yeah. Looks like here's who I also
maybe
would like
he only
to
got a penny a hole. Like maybe someone who knows this guy is like, no, dude, I'm not giving you even a nickel a hole. Like, get bent. Here's a penny. Even at a penny, I just lost like $40.
Yeah. Cash out those euros. Okay. The leaderboard that I guess I'll say that I saw within one of the newsletters, so if it's not 100% accurate, I apologize. But what I saw is Corey Wickline looked to be one of the leading fundraiser effort at $4,283. Spencer DeMille, Larry Muscarella, Broderick, who we know, Sidney Zeldin, Matt Graham, Tarmo Thompson, Jeffrey Noseworthy, Bradley Dixon, and Dustin Leatherman, I believe, were your top 10. And I want to give the shout out to what I'm also seeing for the team. Those were individual leaders. The team leaders that I saw in the newsletter included another round Greenville. Nice work. As your leader, Windsor Essex Disc Golf, Sarasota Sky Pilots, Staggered Stance, Albion Hills Disc Golf Club, DeMille Fam Disc Golf, Lamona Disc Golf, Costco Disc Golf Club, Cellarville's Disc Golf, and Yarva 24 were your top team leaders. So if any of those changed, whatever, congratulations, and thank you guys for doing all the work that Johnny didn't do shit on, and that I did just barely above more than Johnny. So $68,071 is what I last saw as officially raised. So thank you to Throw for More. Thank you to McBeth Foundation. And thank you really to all of you people that went out and did real work this weekend. I know of some people that never, ever play disc golf that went out and found a way to play, found pledges and supporters and sponsors. And just congratulations to the McBeth Foundation for such a clever idea that hopefully will get built upon year after year.
Oh, I can't imagine they won't do this next year with the success that it did this year. It's a great idea and something that's just to build upon.
It's great because even if you are busy or you're broadcasting or you got a comedy show that night, you could just go support someone else. Like if you can't do it, then just throw your money at someone else or some other team. And that was awesome to see. So thank you to everyone involved. One of my favorites on the planet, celebrating a birthday today, Dave Wastebloom. Want to get a shout out in there. I got to call him and talk to him earlier, and he watches the show from time to time. So Dave, happy birthday from all of us here at Smashbox. Hopefully your wife will let you listen to the show while you fall asleep tonight and every night. Okay. Awesome. I love it. It's this has been good.
All right.
real quick, maybe this is after show fodder, or maybe you could do it now and in the after show. What dumb things did you say last week when you were alone on the show? Anything I should know about? I didn't listen.
I gave out your high school locker combination.
26, 34, 18 rings a bell. Okay.
I definitely I definitely called all your exes on the on the show.
Well, that should have been a short list.
It wasn't, Terry. I've known you a long time.
Okay.
No, I didn't say. We talked a lot about. I talked a lot about Kristen and just what her leaving means, and that it wasn't necessarily. Well, it was shocking and surprising. We have seen things kind of like this before, maybe not to the level of Kristen's fame because the disc golf is so much bigger now. But JK stepping away, Val stepping away almost in the prime of her career. You know, you could argue that maybe she was just past the peak of her career with Paige and Kat coming on. And she was at, as I said, 16 majors under her belt. Mm-hmm. That she walked away from being. Paige has 17? She's going for 18?
Yeah.
I mean, I in my fantasy land, I think Val probably could have maybe won one or two more. In Val's still not 40.
No.
And so I truly think
she could still come back. She could still win more.
No, I don't think so. But
she could.
I mean,
that means she'd have to make a return.
Yeah, physically she's capable. She has two legs and two arms. She could do it. She only needs one arm, but she has two. I think the competition is too good right now for Val to come back, even at the level that she was. She would have to come back at almost at the peak of what she left at. I think Val could be competitive.
Practice, and I think she's right there in the mix. But okay. Either way,
so. But
I have to say that she just inflated my air mattress. I have to say that.
Yes, and that's legit. That's legit.
I'm just kidding. I do firmly believe if she wanted to go out and literally put in a couple of months worth of work, she would be right there. She would be in the top 5 at GMC, and
maybe
at some events certainly vying for a win. I have absolutely no doubt about that. If she wanted to, the thing is,
she doesn't.
God bless her. She doesn't want to.
Yeah.
That's just not where her priorities are.
And so that was my argument. Like 2 years off of winning Worlds, Val stepped away from the game. She could have literally had the major record and known as the greatest of all time, because that's kind of what everyone's really weighing. You know, I know Paige has how many world championships does Val have? 2 or 3? 4. She's got 4.
Val has 4.
Yeah, Val has 4 world champions. It took me a second to rattle them up in my head. I'm like, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Imagine having 4 world championships and the most number of majors. You would almost certainly be in that greatest of all time conversation. And yet we rarely hear Val's name mentioned for that. So I feel like her stepping away, we were in a different position in disc golf. But, I mean, she walked away at almost the peak of her career. So this isn't unheard of. That was really what I spoke about last week with Kristen. And that I hope she comes back. I hope she, that she finds whatever it is that she needs to find. And maybe even if it's just a little European tour, or maybe she comes over just to the U.S. for a stop or two. Like, hey, I'm going to make a 3-week trip to the U.S. and that's my week, that's my month, and that's it. If she doesn't, bless her. But just talked a little bit about Kristen last week. So I don't think I said anything really crazy or too stupid, so that's good.
How long were you on for?
Not too long. I think only about an hour and 15, hour and a half.
Because time is not your friend in that case, right?
No,
you're on
Terry,
long enough.
Terry, you get on there long enough,
stupid.
Start rambling. It's great. It's the greatest.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll just quickly say, because I wasn't there, I'll just say to that, we may or may not see her again. She's going to be involved in disc golf probably, as she said in her post. If she comes back, whether it's for a small stint, or 1 or 2 events, or as Paige maybe asked for, maybe an Estonia event, great. And if she does not, I just wholeheartedly support whatever it is that she feels is best for her. And I cannot fathom being one of the greatest at anything in the world, truly one of the greatest, if, at the time, at least, as the greatest, the present day greatest at something, and then mentally or whatever else, or other factors pulling on you to say, yeah, I'm done with that. That's not for me right now. I can't even fathom what that's like for any given reason that she has, and whatever her reasons are good enough for me. So
I'm with you.
Yeah. Best of luck to her and her entire family, because this isn't just her, as we know. Being a mother, being a daughter, being a wife, doing all of those things, being an ambassador for what feels like the entire country's weight, whether you want it or not. You are an ambassador for an entire country of disc golfers. I've said it countless times. 99% of disc golfers, maybe more, would have no idea where Estonia is on a map if it weren't for her. Myself included, I'd have no idea. And I don't even know if most of us still could find Estonia on a map.
Yeah.
But if you have any chance of finding it, it's probably because you looked it up, probably because of Kristen in the last 5 years. So she's done her thing, and we'll see what comes of it or doesn't. So anyway, all right. My only other quick notes that I'll maybe also repeat in the after show tomorrow, if you're local somehow to the Bend area or within a few hours, maybe you're in Portland area, come on out, play the flex start just for the flex of it. We already have, I think as of a few minutes ago, we're upwards of 30 people coming out to play. We had as many as 50 the first year. We had 48 last year, so I'm expecting to get 50 or more tomorrow. Plenty of spots available. Sign up on Disc Golf Scene. That's all out there. It's a flex start over at Pine Nursery Park. All the stuff on UDisc has been updated and will also be on the PDGA. So hopefully some of you guys will, guys and gals, can join us. Spoiler? Exclusive? I don't know what you want to call it. I think we might see Nate Doss play again tomorrow.
Ooh. Is he getting warmed up for USDGC again?
I don't know. But it would be pretty cool to see him out competing tomorrow as well. So, love it. And then next week, I'll put it out there. Next week, Thursday, I'm working on something in the Dixon, Illinois area. It's not quite Dixon. It's right next to there. Working with Nora and Brent. Nora and Brent in that area to try and have a little fun event. I want to throw it out there now. We've got stuff coming for it, but we'll throw it out there so that people can know that it's going to happen. So, all right, Johnny, let's do after show reset, because I think we're going to have a special guest and a special beverage or two maybe join us for. Are
you allowed to have special beverages in front of that backdrop? I know way back in the day they stopped you from having them for the after show.
I do what I want. I'm on my own clock here tonight.
Oh,
so
okay.
We'll make something work. I'm gonna get a little frisky. I do see that some additional Barbasol showed up. We've got even more cans.
You should shave on the air.
Maybe
for MVP.
If Barbasol paid me enough, I would.
For MVP, the very last, after the whole, the final 18, just have like the sides covered in Barbasol and just doing the after show with Brian on the course. No, Brian, tell me about that. And then as you're shaving your down to a goatee.
If Barbasol's gonna pay me enough, I'll do anything. I sell out.
You're
all right. Well, let's take a quick break. I'm gonna quickly use the restroom. If I'm being blunt, I'm gonna quickly use the restroom,
thanks.
And we'll do the reset. And then when we come back, we can get into an after show with special guest Triple Mash and others. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. With that, thank you, Paige Pierce, for joining us tonight. Thank you for the insights. Congratulations to you. Congratulations, of course, go to Paul McBeth. Even if your wife can't put the right shoes on your kid, that's why your kid runs around and doesn't know which way to go, because Hannah admitted that she put the wrong shoes on the wrong feet for Pablo. So Pablo had a hard time getting over to Dad during the interview, but she embraced it. So congratulations to Paul McBeth as well for the win, and awesome stories with Cole Riddell and Paul Kranz and the likes. It was very cool to see. So congrats to everyone involved, as well as the staff and the crew and everyone that worked so hard to pull off the Green Mountain Championship broadcast for us. This has been SmashBoxxTV Podcast 574. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the after show. Things might get sideways. We'll see you then. You step inside the Smashbox.
Thank you to our $2 and above patrons. Your name is listed below in the credits. If you are interested in being listed as a producer in the SmashBoxxTV credits and supporting this and other fine podcasts, please visit patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV Podcast 574's After Show. All right, we're going to cut to it. Special guest. Time to get after it.
What's up? What's up, T-Dog?
Nate Doss in the house.
Cheers.
Along with our other good booth friend.
Well, cheers to Johnny V.
Oh, yeah,
back
whatever.
in Milwaukee.
My drink's empty.
Hey, I have to say hi, and cheers to all the Smashies out there. Always a honor to be on the after show.
Yeah, you're headlining.
Come on, this week was Paige and Paul winning. I got to go to the after show. I think it's fitting.
It is. We talked about it, of course, during the regular show. We had Paige on. Just so cool to see it unfold the way it did this weekend. That was kind of the overall sentiment, was that they both have such long, storied careers. They've both undergone injuries and major challenges, along with a ton of criticism. You know, are we going to ever see them come back? Are they ever going to win? Are they washed up? All the chatter that somebody like to engage in. And then when it was all said and done, just epic performances from both of them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Paige one, you know, as a fan, I get to sit and actually watch the show. And, you know, I mean, look, with a couple of holes left, you could have seen a scenario where Paige didn't make it into the playoff. And to hit that bridge the way she did, skipping in bounds, but then you still got to come up with the good shot after that. And then the way she played 18 in the playoff was just spectacular. And, you know, obviously it's a little sad with Missy, you know, not being able to complete that victory, which, you know, kind of seemed like hers. But also you got to hand it to Owen Scoggins as well. Once again, Owen just proves that it really doesn't matter what the course is. It really doesn't matter. I mean, she can play on any course. She can score on any course. She's the best putter, men or women around, one of, if not the best. And then over on Paul's side, I mean, that could have gone 100 ways as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
right?
watching the story with what Kranz was doing and kind of lingering around, and Cole Redolin really having everything switch up for him. What looked like was all the momentum, around hole 11.
Well, definitely the big putt on 11.
Yeah, when it goes that goes. Paul intentionally lays up. Paul didn't just go for it and then miss the putt.
Right.
Paul specifically and intentionally laid it up, that then made it look so much more impressive when Cole hits it, and then having things reverse on the very next hole, and then we watched it play out from there.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, one of the things we didn't really talk about during the show was on hole 12, Paul had thrown first. He was short. He was way outside the circle. Redolin had a great tee shot. He was perfect position. This is his opportunity to really shut this thing down, make sure that as he crosses that road, and we talked about it at nauseum during the show, 12 through 18 or 13 through 18, that makes or breaks your tournament. Many guys have crossed that road with a lead coming back and have not gone on to win. Cole's not the first person. But what we didn't really get to was the fact that Redolin was was between 2 or 3 discs on that second shot on 12. Brian actually told us about that afterwards, that he was in between discs and it was a disc selection issue for Redolin. He could never get the momentum back, and Paul just ran it out. I mean, Paul earned it. It wasn't given to him, which I think in any victory is what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want somebody throwing double OB on 18.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you just being able to limp
sure,
it in.
You get it, but it's not that celebratory,
Sure.
right? It just goes back to Idlewild. That shot Paul threw on 18, he won that tournament.
Yeah.
He didn't just, Gannon didn't hit early and kick into the stuff and, it was a walk it in kind
Correct.
of deal. So, yeah, man, it was great. GMC's always a good time. There was some other storylines in there that, just people trying to make it to MVP and make it to the Tour Championship. Yeah, so it was fun.
Johnny, what was your consumption level? I know every weekend's a little bit different from you, but consuming it this weekend, how busy were you? What were some of the things that you did or didn't see or take in?
Clearly I was busy because I didn't do the Paul McBeth thing. I didn't do the throw for more. So I must have been very busy.
Yes.
That's obviously.
I'm sure you were.
I do as I do every event. I turn it on in the living room. I leave it on. My wife she rolls her eyes as it's on in the background. And the funny thing is now I'll catch her watching it and she'll ask an occasional question like, oh, Paige is shooting pretty well. And I'm like, you do pay attention. All right. So that was kind of where I kept it. I did watch the whole end of the FPO round. I watched the end of the MPO round, but other than that, I was out running around most of Saturday and Sunday, either picking up things for the house or, I literally took a bunch of doors off their hinges and sawed them down because they had swollen when our basement flooded. So they were like a quarter inch. You were down here, Terry. They're like a quarter inch too big, so you couldn't close some of the doors. So I had to pull them off the hinges, brought them upstairs, and that was kind of my weekend working on house stuff. But it was good stuff. It was good golf, definitely.
I didn't bring it up with Paige, and I don't even know if I told you that Johnny deserves all the credit for the inference, or the direct reference, it wasn't even an inference, I guess, it was a direct reference to the bridge and the line or two that I
did you use it on the air?
get out, but
I turn you
I
off
did.
after the last putt drops. I know I messaged you. I said, hey, after the last putt drops, I'm like, all right, cool story, bro. I know what happened. I'm going to hear about this on Tuesday. Click.
Yeah. No, it was Johnny V that texted me and said it was a bridge that broke her, and now, here it is, a bridge that helps her out, so to speak. And I didn't find much better way to word it, even though I tried twice. But that was 100% your reference, and it was so spot on. Call it symbolic or whatever, but to know she broke her ankle and completely jacked up her foot, ankle, and her career in Norway on a bridge, and then to see this, a bridge hit lead her to keep her for sure in bounds. There's some, I don't believe fully in karma, but there's some symbolism there somewhere we could make up, right?
A bridge broke her and a bridge saved her. So it's,
step in the right direction.
There you go. It was pretty cool to see that. It's Paige won, Bridge won. It's a tie ball game. Yeah. I don't want to see who wins the next one.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll keep. We don't need the rubber match in this.
Yeah,
case.
no, it's
no. Unless there's rubber underneath or something.
Yeah,
literally.
That's right.
I mean, look, Paige. She had the streak, right? This is the year of Ricky and Paige's streaks.
Yeah.
Potentially coming to an end. Now Paige stepped up. She only had a few events left, man, and I just think that is so sports.
It's one event, right? I mean, technically two if you counted GMC, but GMC and Maple, that's it. You're done. Well, Ricky,
exactly.
Ricky can get USDGC technically because that's a major for them, as opposed to for Paige, it was it. Throw Pink doesn't count. I don't think the Tour Championship counts.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know if the Tour Championship counts. I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had this talk
because it's an elite series.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly comes with the prestige and the money now. But is it technically deemed like an XA or an X, or whatever?
Right.
But we treat it like it's an elite series.
Sure.
Kind of like we sometimes treat Throw Pink like it's a major, even though technically it's not. So. And did I just see tonight that Ricky made a post about an ankle. About his ankle not being good, right? And maybe even that he's let me pull it up and look myself, but I think he even made a comment about not necessarily being grade 2 sprained ankle, game time decision for MVP Open.
Dude, that thing is a softball.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a foot pick kind of guy, but I draw a line somewhere.
I can kind of see that in you, Terry.
You dig feet, not ankles more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's keep it PG here.
Yeah, well, it'll depend. I mean, he's got to get that thing in some ice, got to get that swelling down. At least he still has 2 days ish.
Yeah.
You'll probably tee off late
on Thursday.
Can he get to that point? But then, if you're not at 100%, is it worth it? You have to ask yourselves all those questions, especially within just in a few weeks. You got the USDGC coming up.
Yeah, if I'm Ricky,
that is one that, right? That's one that's been elusive to Ricky.
Yeah,
is the USDGC. You hate to not be able to give yourself the best opportunity to win a major.
Yeah, it will be interesting. But I just saw that post tonight in terms of Wysocki. So, of course, he's not tossing and turning at night over this streak that he has going, but it's in the back of his head, right? That he too is looking at 12, 13 years of winning an Elite Series and Major. I don't know if there's any less or more pressure because we just saw Paul's streak end last year, and Paul had the longest streak, and Ricky's streak is now also in jeopardy, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, when you get used to winning, maybe he doesn't think about the streak, but when you get used to winning every year, more than once or twice, and you don't do it for an entire year, it's a little bit jarring. I mean, I think for me, my streak ended probably in that 2012, 2013 ish time. And then, it was very sparse as we started to go into the McBeth and Ricky years until that 2017 GMC, which ended up being sort of my crowning moment. I didn't know it at the time, but that was sort of the last hurrah, that 2017 GMC. So yeah, it was weird. Like about that 2013 mark, I started to get a little antsy. I haven't won. Oh my God, where's my game going? You start to put more time into it, but then you just realize that there's better players coming along,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'm looking down the barrel of Paul and Ricky starting to do their thing. And oh, by the way, there was this young guy named Will Schustrick as well, who was also winning tournaments at that time. So, that's where Rick is. Look, you got Gannon Burr, who is, if you don't play well, he's going to scoop up everything. But you also have an Ezra Aderhold, Ezra Aderhold's been playing well this season. Ezra Robinson, Isaac Robinson. Look at all the names. If you don't play well, somebody's going to win.
Yeah. And
that is the reality for Paul over the last couple of years and Ricky right now. We'll see. I had high hopes for Rick at the GMC. Didn't start off great, obviously.
Or on time.
Yeah. That sucked. That just sucked, man.
That was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we kind of glossed over it earlier, but the story as basically told was that Rick and his caddy weren't in full lockstep of, hey, this isn't a normal event where typically final cards go off at 3 or 3:30 in that neighborhood. Instead, it was like 2 and 2:30, in that general. It was a full hour difference. And at some point, somebody didn't do enough double checking. Now, as you've said, at the end of the day, Ricky's the one, with his name on the scorecard and has to be the one that has to arrive on time. But between him or his caddy, they didn't get their shit together.
No, not at all.
And that it's hard to believe that of such a veteran, right?
Yeah.
Like, I understand Worlds. Like, that's fine. Like, you want to watch this epic playoff. You're not in contention. This phenomenal FPO thing. I hold nothing against Ricky for that. Whatever. He's not winning Worlds. What's the $500 matter to him? Whatever that money difference is going to be. Okay, cool. This is different. This is just airheadedness. Like, it's just not being focused. Like, period. Whether and maybe it's a bigger symptom of his year, that this is just the icing on the cake. These are the jimmies on the the cupcake, Terry. I don't know. Like, it's a weird year for Rick, and it's not like he can really blame his Lyme disease. Like, maybe he had a flare up a little bit earlier in the year, is what I heard, but I mean, he just hasn't played well.
Well, and that was definitely part of his Worlds, closing out Worlds, the brace on his knee and flare up and things not going well there. And that maybe was attributed to his entire week and the performance there. But and then he's definitely talked about his wrist. I talked to him quite extensively at the D-Glow and the problems that he's having with his wrist. And he had Sarah DeMar, looking at it and trying to massage and trying to, figure it out. But nonetheless, it's just not a lot of things falling into place for Rick. But then digging yourself a 4 or 5 stroke hole, like, that just compounds, clearly.
And it just takes you out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to recover. From that.
That's, you have to shoot perfect the rest of the next 2 rounds in order to even come up with those 4 strokes. Which ankle is it, Terry, for Ricky? Right or left? Did it say?
Looked like right.
Let me check under my pillow. That's where the pictures are.
Yeah.
So looks like
left.
Left.
Yeah. Okay. So it's his push
so when
off.
he's throwing a power forehand, I mean.
Well, I was thinking if it's a right ankle, you could go old school Ricky and really just play forehands. Like, it would be miserable if you really want to do that. But if it's your left one, that's probably difficult to plant for a forehand on that, and you can't push off on it. So I feel like the left one is worse than your right ankle if you're Ricky and you thought about playing. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter what ankle, I would be out of luck. But I don't throw forehands,
You
so
could have
it doesn't
you could
matter.
have Doss's ankles and everything else. It's not going to do you any good.
It's not going to do me any good.
Yeah, at some level, if Rick can just get himself to the first tee in some kind of good shape where he's not injuring it worse,
Yeah.
I still say go for it. As long as you're not injuring it more. I kind of think of the Michael Jordan effect, right? When Michael Jordan had the flu,
yeah,
and what did he have? He got like a 60-point game or something crazy. I don't know, man. Maybe Rick slightly injured, but able to not re-injure it and get through it. Maybe that's. I don't know, man. Maybe
sounds like a guy that's got
Magic
NXT
Weekend.
bets on his mind, is what it sounds like. Jeez, you're really trying to massage this.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Doss, because if we've seen maybe it forces him to slow down mentally and physically.
Sure.
And that could be it. You know what? You're right. Play around. See how you feel. You can always say no or get through if you don't like it after 9 holes, just peace out, bro. Like it's this. Yeah. I wanted to give it a shot. No one would fault him. It's not like he's quitting out of frustration. He's just like, no, it didn't work. I thought I could do it. I can't, and I don't want to injure myself anymore. Like I've got no qualms with him doing that. Let the TD know ahead of time. Like, hey, I might bail. You know, it's just be alert, be aware, and go from there.
Yeah, I remember the only time that an injury took me out of a tournament, knock on wood, was the Memorial of 2018. In fact, so it was the last season.
The commentary team, right there.
The commentary. That was when we teamed up for the first time. But I remember even telling you before the tournament, "Hey, look, I'm dealing with the shoulder thing. I don't know if I'm going to get through the tournament." You're like, "Hey, man, come commentate." So we play the first round, which I'm like on. You're covering, like I'm on a covered card. I shoot actually okay at Fountain Hills. I'm on chase, and so we go out and we're out at Vista. And we play the first 5 holes. And I think I went 4 of 5. And I had the tee on 6. And I'm standing there. I'm like, I don't think I can get to the basket in 2 shots. And I looked at the guys in the group. It was like Anthon and Yuli and somebody else. I said, guys, like I'm done. They're like, whoa, what? I go, my shoulders hurt. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I took my scorecard, walked back, handed it to Steve Dodge. You were standing right there. He said, let's do it. And that's how the old Tear Bear Nate Dogg team got started.
Just think how strange that is. Had you never done that, you might not be sitting where you're sitting. Honestly, like if you had never gone,
I might not be sitting here. Yeah,
yeah, either of you. I'm sorry, Nate, that you have to sit next to him. But in general, had you not done that, you might not be behind the booth. Like that would just never have occurred.
Yeah, because that first time that we did it, obviously it was the in person. We're walking around doing it from the course, which was a totally different style than what we do now, obviously. But maybe that's what Steve Dodge noticed. And, the path to where we are now has been a tumultuous one for everybody, including Steve Dodge and you guys and everybody else that's involved. But taking that all out of not looking at the whole thing, but just looking at where we are now, I do agree with you. Maybe Steve Dodge doesn't see that as a factor, and maybe he goes a different direction, or maybe things just don't pan out the way they do. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. But I guess the moral of the story was I did listen to my body, and though I could have continued to play and just chipped it up the fairway, still gotten birdies on maybe the shorter holes, I was there to win the tournament. And there was really not a big part of me that wanted to just be out there just to be out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing for Ricky. And so I think I would just say, listen to your body. If you're not at 100% or at least close to it and you're not injuring yourself more, or you are injuring yourself more, either play or don't.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be thinking big picture at that point, and one tournament is just that, one tournament. As much as it pains him to withdraw or to not be part of it, of course, you have to be thinking about the major that's still at hand, and then a few weeks later, or literally the next week later, is the Tour Championship that's at hand. So
Yeah, we still have a lot of golf to play.
He's just going to be up in the freaking ping pong room taking kids down, on one foot. He's just going to be literally pegging children with ping pong balls.
That could be possible.
He is a gamer.
He is. I was going to say he's going to play poker
and
he's going to...
Yeah, that's true. Let's take a quick side note break, tangent to what are we enjoying here,
well,
Mr. Doss?
Terry, this is one of your favorites. Now, this is Triple Mash from Dragon's Milk, which I believe is in Michigan. And Terry was raving about this. He said, "Oh, it's at one of the places in Bend." So I ran over there and got about 8 of them. And it is 18.7%, which is what Terry.
Well, that's news to me. Woo, is it warm in here?
Is a light lager?
Woo, it's warm in here.
So
Michelob
it's
60,
super
it ain't
good,
no
man.
Michelob 64 or whatever that is, Terry.
No.
It is a triple mash bourbon barrel aged stout, which means they took a traditional brewed beer is going to be mashed, and then the mash will be transferred to the boil, and then you boil off to the fermenter. They actually took 3 mashes to fill their kettle one time, which cranks up the sugar content, which ultimately leads you to 18.7%. So
super healthy.
That's what we're drinking.
That's what I heard.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a single triple, or you could have a single mash. Why wouldn't you go for a triple mash? I mean, 3 is clearly better than 1.
It's really the only way you can kind of get to 18.7% naturally.
Oh.
So yeah, there's other ways to get around that, adding sugar and things like that. But yeah, the beer's fantastic. Everclear, which is illegal in professional brewing. Just saying. But yeah, homebrew, yeah, go for it.
All right. Yes, this was a special release. That they did.
A couple years ago, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago, and I don't know if it's going to come back around. This was bottled on 1/30 of 24. And so if it comes back around, you bet I will be stocking up. Or, hey, my friends over at Dragon's Milk, reach out. I know a guy, that's me, that would love to talk more.
I ask you, Doss,
anyway.
I think I ask you every year. You're on about once a year, and I ask, what are the newest trends in brewing right now? Like, what's crazy popular? What was popular a year ago that now is like that we couldn't sell that if we tried. Like, has the game changed in a year?
Well, I would say, it's always a great question. I love it. It's always so regional, right? I mean, this year I've gotten out and traveled a little bit, but for the most part, we live in a small little 100,000 people area here. Of course, Oregon is a beer place, but generally the trend for craft beer has been heading towards lighter beers. Lighter beers are seeming to be the most popular. That's not even to say that...
Such as?
When
you say a lighter beer.
Yeah, like an American light lager. So something that's going to be in the 4.5% to 5% range, very lightly hopped, very easy drinking. Your Pabst Blue Ribbon for you Scotties out there from Milwaukee.
Some Schlitz?
Yeah, I mean, lighter beers like that, those are generally trending in a good direction. There's a small trend that's happening where there's some highly alcohol, like 8% double IPAs are actually doing pretty well, but in this certain form factor, which is like this like 19.2 can that's sold in the stores. They're seeing actually some good traction with that. But honestly, man, lighter stuff, and NA has been getting a lot of traction. It's not my cup of tea, but hey, you can't fault the sales of some of these bigger breweries.
NA standing for not as fun.
Yeah, not as fun. Not awesome.
Okay.
Look, man, I respect everybody's decision to do what they want to do. Spend your money how you want to spend it. The thing about it is people have come to me, hey man, can you make NA? And I say, well, yes and no. The one thing about non-alcoholic is as soon as you take out the alcohol, you've taken out one of the things that makes the beer very stable, right? So alcohol and pH are the two things that make beer relatively safe in kegs in packaged products, so cans, bottles, crowlers, growlers, those two things really help sterilize things, stabilize things. As soon as you take one of those things out, you have to be very, very careful. In fact, non-alcoholic beer that's in kegs should be, and most likely is on the big scale, pasteurized. So run through where it's heated up and then cooled down very quickly. That's going to kill any of those microbes that could live. All NA packaged product, for the most part, is pasteurized as well. So it is more of a food product than beer, but it is beer at its core. So, beers like this, these are still doing well for the people that are into them. They're really into them. Adjunct stouts are doing well, so things that have maple syrup or almonds or whatever stuff like that. Those are kind of the big trends. Hoppy beers still doing well. Is there anything that's just like totally fallen off? Not really. Not in the last year, I would say. For the most part, things are kind of still trending in the same direction.
This, just to be clear, all coming from a 5-time Brewers gold medal winner.
Well,
Brewer of the Year gold medal winner.
It's our local magazine, does a
Source.
The Source magazine here in Bend. They do a best of, and 5 times I have been voted the best brewer in Central Oregon. Now
I'm going to open the show instead of 3-time world champ. I'm going to say 5-time
brewer
Central
of the year
Oregon brewer of the year. That'll throw off production for a minute.
Yeah,
do it.
But very true.
Do it.
What I would say to that is I have a lot of people that are so supportive and so passionately in just supporting Bevel.
Yeah.
And that's been a really, really cool thing. In fact, I would imagine some of the Smashies out there have even dialed in and voted for me as well. So if you have, thank you. But look, man, being in two worlds. I live in this disc golf world with you and with Sexton and all you guys, which is great. And then I live in this craft beer world. Like, craft beer, I'm still just this junior brewer really trying to figure things out. I've been a professional brewer for 6 years now, and I'm still learning every day, trying to make the best possible beer. I'm also a business owner. I have employees. You got problems you got to deal with. And then over on disc golf, it's like the last 6 years, it's basically that same time frame. I've been in this world with you guys. And so it's like, it's really been so much fun. Since I stopped playing, I've had 2 things that have really I've tried to get better at for the last 6 or 7 years. So I love that part of it.
I don't know. I heard you haven't stopped playing. I heard you're playing a flex start.
Yeah.
That's a qualifier to USDGC.
Yes, you're going to punch your ticket potentially tomorrow. But in all seriousness, another Smashy exclusive. You're playing in October.
I am playing the USDGC this year.
Oh, I was joking about that, but all right.
No, I am not.
We're not joking.
I've been keeping everybody at bay because I haven't signed up for the PDGA. Although if you go to USDGC.com, you will see my name on the list there. But I will say last year when we talked about this on the show, you guys had me as a guest, which was awesome. It was great. I really felt like maybe one of my best performances of my career. To make the cut, to cash, with where my life was. I hadn't played in 7 years a tournament, minus I did play the Beaver State Fling earlier last year. So I was kind of like good with it. And we were talking about it in the off season. I talked with Val. I said, nah, I'm not going to do it. We had a good time. Maybe I'll go back in a couple of years. Well, then the summer came along, and 2 of my family members had to get inducted into the World Disc Golf Hall of Fame in Avery Jenkins and Sharon Jenkins. And the induction ceremony is actually during the players' meeting of the USCGC. So we were going to go anyways. And it was like, oh, well, we're going to fly out on a Wednesday, fly home on a Saturday. I'm like, why would I travel across the whole country and maybe not spin it up and play? But as I've explained, I still pretty hardcore about if I'm going to compete. I want to be prepared as I possibly can. I made the decision to play with 84 days to go. I knew it to the day, and I've been working my tail off, man. I've been throwing as much as I can. I start throwing into a net. Last week I started throwing out in the field. I'm playing a flex start tomorrow. Run by this guy right here, just to get. It doesn't even matter what I shoot. Of course, I want to play well. I want to try to win. That's what you do. But I just want to get back into the flow of putting a mini down, keeping score. I haven't done it in a year effectively. So, yeah. So there it is. There's the after show exclusive.
Dang.
Yeah, and I will say, no expectations really for this year. I remember Val last year said we need to what's the goal? I said, well, the goal is to cash, of course. Mm-hmm. And I would say that's the goal this year too, of course. But I don't know. My game is about the exact same spot as it was last year. I feel pretty good. I'm able to throw with enough distance to effectively get to every single basket in 2 or 3, whatever it's required. Mm-hmm. And I think I can go out and have a similar performance. But at the end of the day, man, when you put everything into just playing one tournament, the pressure is just packed into 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And you have to execute. If I don't make putts, if I throw OB, you're not going to play well. So we'll see.
All right. Well, here's what I can add on to that, is that if I find my way down to the USDGC, I would like to be on the bag for some portion, if not all. I'm going to see how the schedule and the math works out. I would love to.
Is this the meeting of a team?
I would love to be there in a caddy formation for you. I have to get down there and finalize it.
Sure.
But if that happens, count me on the bag.
Well, I will say
it's the oldest caddy player combo on the course.
Wait a minute, Sexton and his dad might be older. Come on.
Yeah. Maybe. Barry will be playing, so.
If he has a kid,
we have to check Barry's.
I might be okay.
Yeah,
maybe if Isaac's dad,
age.
I don't know.
All right, don't worry about it, Johnny. Anyway.
Well, first of all, I will take you up on that offer.
Okay.
Okay. Which I think would be awesome. Yeah, last year I had my good friend Wes caddying for me all 4 rounds. It was amazing. One thing he did, which was kind of unbeknownst to me, I remember him mentioning it. He filmed almost every shot I threw.
Wow. Okay.
And of course, I wasn't paying attention.
Sure.
So, when I told him 84 days ago, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go play. What are you doing?" He's like, I'm working. I'm busy. I can't make it this year." And he sent me this email of every shot. Dang. And he had marked it what hole it was, drive, putt, whatever. And so I've been going back and watching those because I don't quite remember the exact disc I threw on the holes. Of course, I'll use practice rounds. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so big ups to Wes. Big thanks to him. But yeah, I would gladly take a Tear Bear on the bag.
That's a lot of pressure on me.
I'll carry the
keep
bag
my mouth shut.
just to wait for you to show up.
All right. Well, we'll see. Again, I'm working on some. Maybe
we
work.
gotta have you there.
Some kind of work. I would like to be contracted to do something that's, I don't want to just say financially gainful, but
well, what did we say? You want to break even?
Yeah.
You want to be there. You want to make some money.
I'm working on
how
something.
Much
so
does
if I
Doss,
can make it work.
How much does Doss need to cash for 10% to Terry to make money?
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about his winnings, but I do want to. I want to find myself down there in South Carolina, so hopefully we can make it work one way or another. And to be fair, as much as I've had front row access, because I just grabbed a camera and stood there, as much as I've had front row access to most of the biggest moments in our entire sports history over the last 25 years, caddying, dedicated caddying,
I don't think I've seen you
almost
do it.
A little bit daunting.
I don't even.
I've never really have.
Yeah.
Because they're usually I was carrying a camera and therefore
right,
I had
working.
to do what I had to do.
Yeah,
I'm working. But
yeah,
if
you do what you do. I do what
yes,
I do.
As Felberg famously said in the 2010 Japan Open blog.
Oh my God! I filmed that. That was fun.
We all, yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of what that will all entail. So we'll see.
What I can tell you is, as far as being a caddy, because I have caddied for Val many times.
Mostly.
Which is,
Anyone else?
by the way, like the easiest job because she's amazing and she doesn't have any
I'd rather caddy
emotional
for her.
baggage.
What is she doing? What is she doing that week?
It's a roller coaster, man. It's an emotional roller coaster. Just because.
Should I ever say good shot or?
Yeah. Oh, dude, we'll be talking throughout the whole thing.
I mean, we'll have to talk about this, but some caddies should just like carry a bag, and that's fine. And some caddies,
it all
should
depends on
interact.
the player. It all depends on the
exactly.
player. To me, my caddy has always been a part of the process. Right.
Okay.
So if I'm carrying my own bag, like for example, you were out there, Paul McBeth on Sunday carried his own bag.
Yeah.
He wasn't. If he played a bad shot, he didn't turn to anybody and be like, oh, or nothing. It's just all internalized. And he's so used to that. And for the most part, I am too. And a lot of players are.
Sure.
But when you decide to take a caddy, you can have that conversation with before. But to me, it's just this like relief valve. Like you're walking up the fairway, you just threw OB, you're like, oh, that was dumb. And at least you have somebody to is hearing it.
Fuck yeah, that was so dumb.
You're like,
why'd
yeah,
you
dude,
do that?
That sucked. I will a funny caddy story. This kid Joachim out of Sweden, from Skellefteå, up there in the north of Sweden. He's an awesome dude, and he caddied for me many, many times. And he's very quiet. And he was a great caddy. And I was on 16 at the Beast, right? So we all know the famous island. And it was like stroking distance here or something, and I just went like miss, 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 and I went back to go get another. He's like, let's lay up. Like he said, let's lay up. He said, let's lay up. So I looked at him like, yeah, you're probably right. And I did lay up.
Wow.
I did lay up right, and then I threw over. So, I mean, look, sometimes your players just like completely losing their mind. And on a hole like that, it can happen so quickly.
Yeah.
But
all right, Terry, make sure that he's at his tee time a few minutes early. That's your main job. And
like last year. So last year was the first year I played with this whole 5-minute to get to the tee. And Wes and I had it worked out. Like I had it all worked out, and we worked this out like the night before. I say, hey, look, man, I want you to set 3 alarms. I want to know 30 minutes to my tee time, 20 minutes to my tee time, and 10 minutes to my tee time. And like at 30 minutes, I'd still be in the field or like coming back from the field, and I'd maybe putting, and he'd be like, all right, dude, 30 minutes. And so then I had it all worked out. Once I hit 30, gathering my stuff up, I'm going to walk to the secondary putting area, which was much closer. And then he would say, okay, dude, 20. And then I knew, okay, now I got 10 minutes to putt. And he'd say, we got 10 minutes left. And I'd walk up to the first tee, which was like a 2-minute walk.
Yep.
So it's like I had that all worked out. And that is ultimately, again, the responsibility of me.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, if Wes just like blew off the 30 or the 20, I'd probably still be getting antsy. Being like, I feel like I've been out here too long.
Sure.
So. But yeah, the 5-minute thing is interesting, man, because you got to be there.
Yeah.
I just always made it a point to be there, like when the group before me.
That's the tradition specifically at USDGC always. Anyway, it felt like right. That's kind of the unwritten, unofficial rule is you were always there to watch the group in front of you tee off. This is long before the 5-minute rule ever existed.
Right.
You were there. It guaranteed some applause was going to basically happen no matter who you were, no matter what was going on, and somebody was watching you tee off. Now, clearly, the crowds have grown and the galleries have grown, but that was just like it was truly like an unwritten rule, like a law. Like you were there. You watched the group in front of you tee off for a number of reasons.
I would agree with that. I think that was common, especially because such a long walk.
Yeah.
You're so far away. You're probably like a mile if you were out in the middle of the practice field
by the time
to
you
the first tee.
Up. Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is quite a hike. Quick clarification. This might be in my rider. Do I have to retrieve your thrown practice field drives?
Absolutely not.
All right.
No. During my practice, you're sitting under the tent, hanging out with Seth Muncy or chatting with whoever's up there.
Okay.
I mean, again, the preparation, it's also personal,
Okay.
right? Because you're out there, you're kind of trying to, talk yourself up. You're trying to imagine and picture the first tee shot, the fifth tee shot, the this. Maybe there was some things from the previous day that weren't as good. Maybe you're working on that a little bit. You're just trying to kind of calm things down.
Okay.
And then you can walk up to the first tee, and then everything goes from there.
Yeah.
So
as long as I don't have to shag
you don't have to
this.
shag nothing. Now, I might have you go swimming.
Ha!
All 5 there, just, wading out in the water.
Hey, Terry, can you go wade on
it's-
17? I'm going to make a run at this one.
yeah. I'm going all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. All right.
Who do we got with us here? Who's chatting?
We just got a couple of our regulars. RDB's out there. Ed's out there as usual. I mean, these are a lot of our regulars.
Oh, man. What's up, everybody?
Doc Zen, who's runs Johnny V's fan club.
Apparently.
We're
good.
Maybe sole member.
Busy guy.
Sole
Very,
member
very busy.
And fan club president, which is awesome. If you guys got questions for any of Nate's golf or some of the world of brewing.
Yeah, I got 20 minutes left of me, T-Dog.
That's about what I got. I got to get steps
I
in.
got up at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if any questions, we can spin up any kind of topic.
Brewing or otherwise. Our boy, one of your co-owners over in Justin Selmer, trying to get in on the Flex Start tomorrow morning. And Justin's messaging me as we speak, trying to
how early can he play?
Yeah, and what group can he get in?
I think he has to work at some point.
Yeah, so
and
Justin.
he actually it's almost his birthday. I believe his birthday's on Thursday, and he is performing. He has a band
tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's performing at Bevel. It's the last Wednesday night music of the season. And so that'll be fun, man. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be hot tomorrow, too.
91 degrees tomorrow out here.
And Terry's, complaining. It's 91 and dry.
It's too effing hot.
It's not that
By
hot.
20 degrees. It's too hot. So we're going to have beautiful weather out here for the Flex Start tomorrow. And then, as he just said, it used to be Lisa Frank in the Trapper Keepers. Now it's maybe just Trapper Keepers.
It changes every show.
Okay.
So this show is Vincent Vega and the Trapper Keepers. For all of you Pulp Fiction fans, Vincent Vega is played by John Travolta in the film Pulp Fiction. So
that will be who's playing tomorrow night. So everyone's going to get done playing in the Flex Start, and then I invited everyone over, both via Disc Golf Scene and on site tonight, everyone to come on over to Bevel to enjoy the band, the last live music of the year, and take it all in tomorrow night out there at Bevel. So it should be a really good time. And then we know come Thursday morning, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, MVP Open will be going down.
Man. Yeah.
Our boy, Luke Butchie.
What up, Butchie?
Is coming in from Thailand.
Yeah, what time is it? Early morning?
It should be about 10:43 a.m.
Okay.
He says, when are Nate and Val, Luca, and Sharon coming to visit Thailand along with Justin?
I know. Well, Justin's been wanting to go for sure. I think I do want to make that trip. Look, Butchie, Luca's 2. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4. I would say in the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
It's an age thing. He actually did really good. We took him to Worlds this year. We traveled all the way to Finland. And we did a bunch of crazy travel before the tournament. We went, we took the boat to Tallinn, went over to Estonia, hung out there for a few days, came back. I mean, we were on trains, planes, boats, all that good stuff. And he did really well. But I think in the next couple of years, Luca would be able to happily enjoy Koh Samui. Koh Samui, right?
Koh Samui, come on over.
And then head up north. I want to go to the north of Thailand.
Yeah,
that's somewhere I have not been. We've been to Thailand. We've hung out with Butchie, and but I want to go up to the north, man.
Yeah, Chiang Mai certainly, and there's more disc golf thanks to Butch and a bunch of others, but Chiang Mai is a good place to start with a couple of courses, and then we've got a lot of other disc golf growing.
Yeah, I mean Cambodia. I mean a lot of the videos we watched, and I'm I'm running his fan club.
It's a tough job. He doesn't get paid enough.
We a lot of times we sit in the living room and we just watch whatever videos you've got out, and we watch the Cambodia video. Like some cool stuff going on out there, Southeast Asia.
It's incredible, and excited for the Southeast Asia tour to kick off
next
year.
Is that like the first official year?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of collectively called a bunch of events a tour, but this year it's more official than ever. So Bangkok hosting an event, Koh Samui hosting an event, having Chiang Mai hosting an event. We're going to be in the Philippines. China is going to be where the finale is, that I think is going to coincide with me not doing Disc Golf Network stuff that weekend, so I should be able to go to China if it works out. Like Taiwan, I think, is in the mix. So it's just awesome. And then we keep talking about it. What they're doing over at the Tour Down Under and New Zealand and everything they have going on is also incredible.
Yeah, so. I mean, obviously going to the Southern Hemisphere during our winter, their summer, is a great move. Yeah. And, the guys in New Zealand are killing it. You guys are killing it, man.
Lots of cool stuff going on for sure.
Fun.
So hopefully we can get you over there. Do you talk Thai?
I don't.
So Wati is about, there's only a few phrases that I would say we probably both know. Jason says, can you run some kind of tournament while you're in Rock Hill? That would be fun. They used to have.
Yeah, like a flex start or something?
Well, they used to have always over at Boyd Hill. No, over at Boyd Hill. Not at, right leading into the USDGC. Or even like you could leave and go play it at one point. They had a Boyd Hill challenge of some sort. I don't think that's taking place anymore, but lots of stuff. And now at in the arena, as they call it, they've got like one or two spectator courses plus like a kids edge course.
Yep.
Like there's just so much going on.
Out in the practice field, beyond the practice field, you're practicing like on a ball golf course.
Yep.
That's like really roughly taken care of.
Yep.
It's just like this university 9-hole. But they just rent the whole thing out now. And they have the spectator course back there. You can be out playing all day long. I mean, dude, just the whole fanfare up at the like vendor village is crazy. They got music every night. Yeah, it's a whole scene. Yeah. Which was really cool to see last year. You know, I hadn't been there in so long. And before, that didn't exist. Yeah. I mean, literally, they have like a food truck festival or something going on.
Yeah, there's a whole pod.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like I said, Wednesday night, you got the Hall of Fame induction. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's kind of the crescendo of disc golf.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of ways, having the Hall of Fame, USDGC, Throw Pink.
Yeah, it's
good times.
It's very cool what's all happening. Somebody's asking, Eric, you're late. Is Doss playing USDGC again this year? Rewind. Yeah, you're late.
Yes, I am playing USDGC.
He is playing, and then can we see a new signature disc sometime soon? Well, is there some special stuff in the works?
Well, I would, this is a Ricky test flight disc that just showed up in the mail today.
It did.
Terry was here. He was oogling all over it.
What not?
I mean, look, yeah, right. We need to get one of those going. But, Discraft's been so busy lately, man. Honestly, one of the cool things we did this year was we did remake the Avenger. Mm-hmm. So we took the exact mold from 20 years ago when I won my first Worlds in 2005. It was the 20-year anniversary. We did a remake of the Avenger. It was like a swirly Z plastic, and it was the exact stamp that was my signature stamp, where they just added the 20-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And in fact, I've been throwing those around here. Yeah, it was really cool because they do have, I believe, the Avenger SS. I'm not sure if they make the regular Avenger anymore, and so it was really cool to have that come out. I've been throwing them in the field. Like, they're a pretty beefy, like, mid. Yeah, it's a little bit longer than a fairway driver, but not as long as a high
distance,
speed. Yeah, so it's it's straddling the middle there.
Okay.
But yeah, to say that I have anything signature coming out, no.
Well, stop in at Bevel.
Maybe.
For now, stop in at Bevel.
At the end of October, we'll talk again.
Yeah.
2-time USDGC champ.
I mean, they got their hands full, man.
Could
making
you?
Ricky
this isn't out of the realm of human possibilities, of course. Could you just? I would love to see the disc golf world react to you winning USDGC. Oh my God, with like that would melt some brains out there, and that's not a rip at all. There's just so many people who do not know your capabilities, prowess, and what you've done. So if that were to happen, it would be so legendary. I mean, and my bonus caddy check, wow. No, but seriously,
Terry gets his own signature disc, his own signature caddy disc.
No, but just honestly, like that would be awesome. You're going there to win. You're going there to play your heart out. It would be a super tall task, but I'm just saying that would be just so awesome for the people who are too young to know. There's so many people that have joined the game that watch us regularly that literally never have seen you throw a disc.
Yeah.
Right? That's just because of when you got into Bevel, when you pulled off the tour. That's no fault of theirs or of yours, but it would the shine that it would put on it would be incredible.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, why the F is this guy in the booth when he is capable of winning a major?
Yeah, I would say, and this question was asked a lot last year. Do you think you can win?
Mm-hmm.
In my heart, yeah, that answer is yes. My physical game, the throwing from tee to green on a perfect shot, is exactly the same as it was 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
It's very, very close. We're talking probably within 30 feet. Okay. But it's the consistency.
Sure.
Can you do it shot after shot? Can you do it under pressure? And then can you cap that off by making the putt? That is what takes you into a lead card, into a chase card, into a situation where you can win a tournament. And we know disc golf. You cannot really, especially with Gannon Burr and a good playing McBeth and really any of our top guys, you cannot trip up even a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and that to me is the biggest challenge. And that's why I'm out in the field. That's why I'm prepping. Because I do truly, I want to win. Is that going to happen? Only time will tell. But at the end of the day, I just want to give it my absolute best. You know, and do I want to try to convince people of what I've done? No, not really, because at the end of the day, I have won this tournament in 2008. You like, and I've come very close at the USDGC many other times. I won the World Championship 3 times. Now, in 2011, it wasn't all that well covered from a post-production. Now, we did have it live. Johnny V, I remember out there, as you as well. Well, you were playing, actually.
I played and then helped where I could.
Yeah, but I remember during the rounds, I think, Johnny, you were carrying a camera, or were you commentating?
No, I did.
2011?
At Worlds, yeah, 2011.
Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz. I was doing the commentating on the course like you and it was me and Greenwell, and then at one point I remember Climo just showed up because we had just I remember it was like yesterday. It was Will Schustrick's ace on and Climo was right there with me, and it was amazing, and it still frustrates me to this day that footage is just like that's gone. I don't know where.
Yeah.
If I don't think we were doing much local recording, and whatever service it was streamed through, it no longer exists. And I don't think Dusler ever had a backup of that particular one. I mean, I know it was being recorded as well by
Mark Hastings.
Yeah, Mark Hastings. The documentary that was supposed to be all that and whatever that is. But I would love to go back and hear how absolute piss poor I was, because I'm sure it was not great. I do remember it was so dusty there that whole week, and I just constantly had like a runny nose, like a sniffling. So I was always pushing the mic away from my head and trying to like get rid of something and back and forth. But I do wish that footage existed somewhere. But
yeah, and I think that's a part of some of this lack of understanding of what happened that year, other years as well before that. And, you know, at the end of the day, look, the one thing I can say is all these years later, I'm very proud of my career. I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish. But if I'm trying to put it in the context of now, in 2008, I had in the final group Avery Jenkins, Ken Climo, and a Paul McBeth was in the lead card. Now, it was 2008. He was a young kid at the time, but I had Paul McBeth there. In 2011, when I won Worlds, Paul McBeth was in the field. And so, I've taken Ricky on and beaten Ricky. But at the end of the day, they were the ones to take the torch. It was perfect timing. 2012 all the way through till now was, YouTube coming into favor, social media and all those things. And I'm so proud of what they're able to do. And honestly, I feel excited to commentate on them. In fact, even then, and then you talk about the next generation, like Gannon Burr. I mean, we have commentated his entire career in a way. Right, I remember when he jumped onto the scene. It was like at a tour championship, and he was getting time violations out at Hornets Nest and everything. And I'm like, God, this kid's gonna just crumble, and he didn't. And then fast forward all these years later. In fact, the night before the World Championship was over, so it was Saturday night. We were out at dinner, saw Gannon, saw his mom, who she introduced herself, and I just said, "How cool has it been? I've been able to watch your kid go from unknown to potentially," I said at the time, potentially the world champion, and now he is the world champion. So it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. And I'm not really looking for people to pat me on the back and say, "Hey, dude, great job. We love what you do." I'm obsessed with just getting better at what I'm doing now. That's the big thing for me.
It's been such a fun journey, and the passing of the torch and just these generations and these iterations of players that, of course, if you just came into it the last few years, you have a very different perspective. You don't know what was happening before that, likely, because you didn't go, backtrack. And I understand that. And even before them and so on and so forth.
And I was just so lucky. I grew up in Santa Cruz, California. The Masters Cup was one of the biggest, if not the biggest tournament of the year. I got to see Scott Stokely show up, John Ahart, Jeff and Johnny Listman, the Ricos, Climo, Schultz. I got to see all of these guys up close as a young man, because in those days we would just get VHS tapes. And you could just watch them over and over and over and over again until they wore out, and the tracking, you couldn't even get it to seriously. I'm not even kidding you, that we did that. But I got to see it live and in color. And that's, I think for me, that was a huge factor in my success. You now have, Gannon Burr's a great example. His entire life, he's had Jomez and the Disc Golf Guy and Smashbox, and eventually the Disc Golf Network, and now what we have now. So, I just think you have to use what is available to you at the time, and do the best you can with it.
It's been a wild ride, as Johnny alluded to earlier, for really everyone, from a media perspective, but also just overall in terms of a touring, playing experience perspective, and getting even a little of that reflection out of Paige, thinking it's been 15 years for Paige. It's been 15 or so years for Paul.
I mean, 2011, when I won Worlds, Paige was the FPO winner that year. I remember taking a ton of photos with her, as we were both the champions, and I just remember thinking, wow, this is it. This is the start of something incredible. And I mean, look what she did for so long. And dude, to win a tournament every year for 15 years at that level, at the top level, FPO, MPO, it's incredible.
It has been. It's been awesome to watch. Johnny, this weekend, you gearing up? What part of MVP jumps out for you? Anything in particular? Storylines. You think of Proctor's putt last year. We think of Simon past,
Chase Card.
Chase Card.
I'm honestly, of all things, I think Gannon's the story right now. It's been a hot minute since he won.
What, like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Since
4 weeks?
Yeah, it's
Since what, Ledgestone?
No, Gannon won at the
Deglow.
Deglow.
Yeah, it's going to be almost a month.
Yeah, like 2 events.
Yeah, I know.
I guess when the bar is reset that much,
and that's
right?
what I'm saying.
Gannon hasn't won
like
here.
Yeah, and Gannon, I don't think Gannon hasn't won here. So that was where I was going, is that it's been a few weeks since he's won. He's the number 1 player in the world still. One of the things I've been doing lately with all the data that I have from Skip Ace is I'm building like the win probability chart, similar to what you just had.
Mm-hmm.
Like so you can see, and all my analytics, everything I keep pumping into this thing, clearly Gannon is always the favorite, whether it's 34% chance or 31% chance at the beginning of the event. And just thinking like, yeah, but he hasn't won in a few weeks and he's never won here. Can he finally take this down? Like it's like one of the few things he hasn't done. Like I know it's just an elite series to a lot of people, but this is a big deal. And so he's the person of all people I'm keeping my eye on if he can get out of the gates hot, because he seems to be able to finish well.
Okay.
He's not starting well, and he just has if he can put 2 whole rounds together, I think he can cruise at that point. Other than that, Proctor's been a no-show this year for the most part. Like Paul,
he's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Yeah, but I mean
sure.
That's a part of it.
Part of it, yeah. I mean, I'm not heartless here, but like excuses, right? Like those are part of being a pro athlete. Like it sucks, and I love Proctor. He's one of my favorite players to watch putt. He's just so good. We're gonna see probably at least 2 of highlight reels of Paul McBeth's phenomenal round. So if Paul starts out, if Paul gets like 3 out of 4, Mo's gonna have that thing just on replay. For the love of God, he's gonna have a hot button where he just hits it and it just shows up. I mean, it's so. Can Paul keep it up? Yeah, those are the 2 storylines really that I'm thinking of in MPO. In FPO, that's tough. Like did Missy win? Missy won last year, right? And for FPO, I think
so.
Was it last year she won?
It's so funny how
they just blend together
so much.
Yeah,
they kind of do, and fair or not, and I feel like that's of all our players.
Well, wasn't there a Haley King one? that might have been 2 years ago.
No, so yeah, last year she won. Missy
Missy.
Yeah, last year Missy won because she beat Kristen by like a stroke or 2, and and Haley won like 2 years ago. And I mean, this event for the longest time was known kind of like. Was it Idlewild, where no one won it repeatedly for a while. I think it was McBeth that was the first 2-time winner. And this course just brings out unique winners because of its unique type of course.
It's the inconsistency of the ground play. To me, one of the biggest factors of this tournament not having repeat winners is honestly the ground we're walking on. There's so many odd bounces and root hits, and you have to play the ground play here. Of course, the holes are tough. But actually, we were kind of looking at it GMC, not a bunch of consistent winners year after year since Ricky's run ended back in like 2017. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a great point. I would add on the FPO side, I think Own is always a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because she just is so impressive. Like, for her, in her mind, she knows, but she's a gamer, man. In that playoff, she threw almost the same tee shot, maybe a little bit more juice on it, but like pipes this forehand and like almost hits the basket.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Where
Imagine
did that come from?
if that's a walk-off throw-in.
Oh my god!
So I would have been so Own.
I think Own is always a great storyline over on FPO. I just always love watching her just fight and battle. She kind of seems like one of these people that's never really out of it.
No.
So I kind of love that. And then, on the MPO side, everything Johnny said, could you see McBeth winning both of them back to back? Sure. If he putts the way that he did, I mean, he putted so
He's putting
well.
out of his mind right now. It's great.
That circle 2 putt percentage was like 60-something%, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It probably ended up a little bit lower, like mid-50s, but
still.
Either way, man. Yeah, I think, but I do agree with you. I think Gannon is always the story. The fact that Gannon has not won the MVP will certainly be additional motivation for him. But I like the idea of a new winner here, just like we saw with Proctor, just like we saw with Matty O, just like we saw with the Chase Card champion of Simon, 3 years ago now. I think that can happen. And, oh, by the way, I think one of the biggest storylines is this wild card situation.
They're going to make it a storyline for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because it's if you're not in the top 28 and you're not qualifying for the top 28 based on your play of that tournament, the top 4 people that are outside of that are going to get into it. You could literally be like an 80th points place, play well, and go play in Virginia.
Yeah.
In mid-October. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of prestige on the line. All that.
I mean,
I think that's going to be a big story.
If you're talking first-time winners in MPO, I mean, the easy name to say is Gannon Burr because he hasn't won and he's the number 1 player in the world. But I think you can't count out Cole Redallen's been playing well, but the guy who I would keep my eye on, Maury Vielman. I think you get him.
Yeah, sure.
He's now been in the States for a few weeks. He's probably a little bit more acclimated. This course is probably going to set up a little bit better for him. Maybe a little bit more home-like, just a little bit more wooded. I think you're going to watch him I'd put money on a top 5 for him out here. Just get him at Maple Hill, and I think that I like it. He's gonna excel, and I would love to see one. I mean, again, Gannon is Gannon, and he's gonna do You know what he should just do? Every putt, just get down on a knee. Just screw it. Like it doesn't matter
misses.
Whether it's 15 or 50.
Never misses from a knee.
That punk just puts him in. He misses more, and he doesn't miss a lot, but like. Oh my God, that one on, 16? The airballed? My jaw hit the floor. His footing was a little weird. He was up on that mound kind of at Fox, and it just
he drew a little metal, but it was still shocking because that's not a typical.
I've never seen him miss
Burr
like that, like just from that distance and that
was
severity. But yeah, I think I like to keep an eye on
16. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Maury Vielman, there's a pull.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I remember Terry saying, when was the last time you seen him miss a putt? I said 17 at Worlds. You didn't expect him to miss that putt after going OB, but he still won it somehow. Yeah, Vielman. I like Vielman. I like Sully Tippy. I got. He's gonna be one of my picks.
See how that pans out.
I think that kid. He's gonna win. He's gonna win sooner than later. I think.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him a little bit more consistently in there. Yeah, I do too. I think if his game kind of keeps progressing. Did we ever find out what happened to Joey Buckets?
I don't know.
Because he DNF'd.
I don't know why he DNF'd.
Okay.
No, I'm sure somebody
I
out there.
hope he's not injured too bad. Man.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy to see it, but I honestly don't know the backstory to that.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Right on. I just, again, wild card stuff. Like you could see a Barsby continue to play well. Boom, pick up. And it's 4 people. Yeah. Like, that's a lot. Big Germ could do it. There's so many players that could. Yuli could do it. Proctor, who's outside looking in.
Yeah, Proctor's
he could do it as well.
Proctor's a good one that you could put on it. Maybe like a Corey Ellis. I don't know if Ellis is in or not. But he hasn't.
He's probably right around the edge.
Yeah, he hasn't played well this year, but he plays well at MVP, as we know. So he's one of those guys that you could see, if he's not.
And by the way, Vielman and Ben Calloway will play in the Tour Championship. because they've won a pro tour this year, even if they're outside looking in.
Yeah.
So there is this slight potential that we could have 33 or 34 people in the tour championship, but at minimum there will be 32, including these 4 wild cards. So,
Here's a quick update, a little Instagram super sleuthing. Joey Buckets posted on his Instagram yesterday. I unfortunately had to DNF from the Green Mountain Championship during the 3rd round. I had some back pain that started on Wednesday warming up for match play, but was only slightly bothersome until hole 2, round 3, when it flared up and was causing a lot of discomfort and pain. I've never had to drop from a tournament before, so it was heartbreaking to say the least, especially with all the extra points at stake. I've been resting, and my back is feeling a lot better. I hope to return to the upcoming week at MVP, regardless of the circumstance. I had a great week, and I could imagine in Vermont, blah, blah, blah. Had the best week I could imagine. Thanks
yeah,
so
that's a bummer.
So there's an update there, which I had not read until.
Injuries do happen, man. These guys play so much, and they have trouble taking some time off. This could be a good thing for Joey if the back heals up well. Just even those few days to recover.
That's what you get for carrying those buckets all around the course. It's like 5-gallon buckets.
I almost mentioned this to Paige when we were talking about just her longevity. It's kind of amazing that she hasn't had some sort of weird injury other than the ankle. She hasn't had any sort of repetitive
back, wrist.
Just knee, leg, like those type of things that a lot of these grinders run into, like, my shoulder, my wrist, my knees. She hasn't had that. And with as powerful of a thrower as she is, does it shock me when Missy Gannon doesn't have it? No, Missy Gannon doesn't seem as violent of a thrower. She throws far, but doesn't have that power, that pop that Paige has. So I was going to mention it to her, and I figured, I'm like, probably not. I'll keep my mouth shut on that for a while. Like, I don't want to jinx her.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that she's gone this long without like one of those weird stress injuries or whatever you want to call them. So,
no, that is a valid point. Mm-hmm. Speaking of getting older, we're gonna he's still watching. Dave Wastebloom.
Oh, Bloom. What's going on?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Is it his birthday today?
It's today. It's
wow.
officially.
Happy birthday, man.
So,
that's awesome.
Dave, I hope you had a good birthday out there.
Fantastic.
Lisa Fake is also celebrating a birthday. I think that's kind of officially pushing her into that FP40 eligible
happy
realm
birthday, Lisa.
this year. So
awesome.
We'll get that in there. All right, Johnny. Well, of course, we'll have extra giveaways next week because I'll be back. Hopefully you've found some more wet, moldy shirts or something in the basement that we can get.
No, away. I have. They were all washed. They're right here waiting for you, Terry.
Okay,
they're cleaned.
All right, we'll get those out.
They smell wonderful.
So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight for all the action. Thank you to our bonus special guests with some exclusives, Smashbox exclusives here for the night, and we'll be out there tomorrow. Live scoring, you can watch along, Nate Doss along with others for the action at the just for the flex of it. But then I guess the other show going on this weekend will be the MVP Open by OTB Disc. Looking forward to seeing some of that fun out there as well. So
awesome.
You got any parting shots? Anything you want to say to the world?
Dude, look, man, it's always an honor to be here with the Smashies, with Johnny, and with you, T-Dog. Congratulations, 500. What's today?
74.
574. I remember episode 1. So congrats, guys, for keeping it up. Just keep going. We disc golfers need you guys. So
whether they want it or not.
We don't ask if they want it.
They
we just give it to them, Terry.
Yeah,
no, man, good job, good stuff. Appreciate everybody watching, and man, the end of the season's gonna be it's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be a good time.
We'll be back.
This is the best time of the year. Worlds is the best time, but you cannot beat the fall on the East Coast. That is the time to be. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank
you, everyone. That is it for us in Bend tonight. We've got all the action, of course, on the Disc Golf Network throughout the weekend. We know that you're going to see us and join us there. And Johnny, I'll be putting up with you in studio most likely next week.
Damn right you will.
For it. Damn right I will. All right. for Paige Pierce, who joined us in the regular show, along with Johnny V, Nate Doss, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. That's SmashBoxxTV Podcast 574's after show. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next week when you step inside the Smashbox.